Hello and welcome to Liptovsky, Mikulas in Slovakia. World Cup number 1 of the 2018 season, and it is finals day 2 in fact. So we're going to look at the semi-finals for the next couple of hours, and the top 10 athletes from the C1 women and the K1 men will be going forward to the finals. Central European time, midday today. So weather, well, it really similar to yesterday in the sense it's pretty cold. It's about 12 degrees, not much wind at the moment, don't have any rain. However, yesterday we did see some horizontal rain that came and I suppose made it more interesting. As you can see at the moment, there is really good conditions for I suppose winter slalom. It's going to be 30 athletes are coming down the course for the women in the reverse order of the times they put forward in the heats. So some of them went straight through and some of them had to go through a second stressful heat. But here we are today. They've been out for the last couple of hours looking at the conditions. And Adam Burgess, good morning. What do you think of the conditions?
Hi, good morning. It looks a little bit warmer than it was yesterday. And we saw a really hot race in the C1 men. Particularly very tight racing. The women as well actually were amazing, so yeah, we should be in for some more really high quality slalom today.
Well, that's what we're all looking for, isn't it? We have Jess Fox is I suppose the standout athlete from yesterday. Can she pull it together today?
Definitely, yeah, she was amazing in the women's kayakers today, and a chance for a second gold medal today to add to that. We've seen her do it before, take 2 wins over 2 classes. It really is amazing, but you know, she's got some stiff competition. British girls, Mallory and Kim, also Nadine, who qualified on the second run from Austria. I think she actually put down the fastest time of the day in the end on that second run. Always capable. Anna Sotilla as well, Vicky Wolfhart, Ros Lauritz. There's so many people in this race who are going to be competitive. So yeah, I think we're in for an exciting one.
I remember doing the commentating back in 2012 when I was starting, and the depth of field wasn't really there.
Definitely,
it'd been there 2 or 3 years, but now there's you could run off an argument for probably 25 of these 30 athletes to actually get through, and about 15 of them to take medals.
Yeah, more and more I think. Yeah, names are appearing on this list who can win medals. And you said it yesterday about the C1 men that a lot of the top 20 have already been on podiums, and yeah, we're starting to see that now in the C1 women class, and it looks like we're just kicking off now.
So Zova coming through. So it's the first time she's been on this actual course. However, she will know it pretty well because we did have 30 men come down yesterday in the semi-finals, 10 in the finals, and so all the video analysis has been available and hopefully been done.
Definitely, yeah, and there has been a little bit of change in the order with the way these ICF races work, with the C1 men and K1 women competing on the Saturday and the C1 women and the K1 men on the Sunday. Usually these athletes don't get to watch a full day of racing before they compete on this course, but now they do, and we know from when the C1 category has been on the Sunday and when the C2s were on Sunday in the past as well, the way that really makes that race so tight, because all the information's been there from the day before. People know where the key mistakes are happening. They're a little bit more careful. They know the fastest lines. Yeah, we're definitely in for some tighter racing today, I think.
We have a couple of Brits coming up later. We'll discuss what their knowledge is and how they're feeling, no doubt.
Definitely, yeah. And they've both been on the course yesterday in their kayak as well. A lot of these girls actually, they're double uppers. They compete in the kayak too. So you know, lots of knowledge already of this course. And
so the young Russian in there, 19 years old. She looks like she's putting in a solid performance.
Yeah, it's not bad. She's made a couple of little errors, but she's keeping it clean. So that's really important, and she's doing a solid job here. If she can keep it clean to the finish, then yeah, it's going to be a decent marker for the rest of the girls to chase.
What were the major 2 or 3 takeaways from yesterday, you think?
For me, it looked like getting to the bridge without losing too much time, just being in touch. You know, if you're within a second of the pace at the bridge and you've not used too much energy, then you're in with a shot.
That's just before gate number 10, that's right.
Yeah, that's right. And then you've just got to save energy for these moves particularly through that middle pool. A bit of a sting in the tail here as well. We didn't see too many people get caught out by it yesterday, but it certainly can.
And there's a good 6 or 7 second pull to the end.
Yeah, and she's kept it clean. It looks pretty good. I think she can be happy with the performance there. You know, first off in the semi-final, and already we're off again from Team Canada. Lois Betteridge.
So the Canadians, obviously, they have the hundreds of years history in canoeing, and they're pushing it faster and faster.
Definitely, yeah. We see her competing in the Canadian canoe, C1 of course, yeah, named after the Canadians. I don't know, I think there's just the one. We've just got the one Canadian in this semi-final today, just as Lois. Again, she looks like she's off to a solid start, clean.
I was saw about 3.5 seconds off the pace here.
So yeah, she is down, but there's definitely lots of time to be made. And just a 2-second penalty. Saw a few people do that yesterday, just taking that left-hand pole with the bow. It's really easy to do. You know, you float the bow over the wave to try and get speed into the upstream, but the poles are low and you're having a bit more trouble there as well. Just having to do an extra little spin to get around 14. You know, this is where we saw the most trouble yesterday in the C1 men as well. A little bit wild around 15, but she keeps it upright. Good balance there. Just drops onto this wave. It's a difficult move, this one. Really difficult. You have to use the water to get to 17, but it doesn't really help you very much. And then difficult exit as well, and you can see there she's just taking it a little bit too tight and taking another touch.
So there's fractions here and there, but I suppose that's what differentiates the top athletes, that they get this 5 centimeters to the right side of the pole.
Definitely, yeah. The margins of the sport are so fine, and you know, sometimes you can make a little mistake and consequences aren't too bad, and then sometimes a little mistake and your race could be over. Happened to me yesterday. I only made a small mistake at gate 3 and that was run over for me, which is a shame.
But yeah, we're actually, here she comes anyway, Lois. Veteridge came down, made the semi-final, and we're now into Gabriela Sadkova. If you're from the Czech Republic, by definition you're not bad.
Yeah, definitely. Really strong team across the board, every category. Oh, she's done that very nicely around 5. Really smooth. She's got a nice style, this girl. Switches the hands there. You see a few more of the girls switching hands. Some of the men have started to do it, but the majority of the girls today will see switching hands on the paddle.
I heard the intelligence that David, I forgot to ask him yesterday when he was doing the commentary, but David Florence apparently in Australia was playing around switching a bit.
Yeah, he's been switching for a little while now. He's paddling very well on the left. Yeah, he's worked on it for a long time. It's been a big investment for him, and I think now he's just starting to work on the actual switch rather than just paddling as a lefty. And she's taking a slightly different option there, this girl, and it looks like it's not quite paid off for her with the penalty on 13. She looked like she did what we call a peel out around gate 12 to make the move a bit easier, and it did so, but she took the touch on the way through, so it doesn't look like it's really paid off.
So effectively she gave herself 7 ups.
Yeah, and she's way down now on the split, almost 9 seconds. This is making the run from the young Russian first off looking really good, actually. We could see that hold on to the lead for a little while. I don't know who we have coming up.
Well, there's a few big names. There's Lena, who's been around for an awful long time, from Germany, coming up next. These are great little cameras, aren't they? They're about 10 centimeters long and they're stuck in the grass, but they really give you a good angle.
Yeah, really. I like the shots when they're really close to the water, and some of the drone footage yesterday as well was really cool, chasing the athletes down the course from above. Yeah, he's going in second place, 9.5 seconds down. I don't think we're going to be seeing Gabriela again in the final later, unfortunately. She gets another go next week in Krakow.
Here we go, Monika Stakova. Same rule for Slovakia. If you're in, you're good.
Definitely, yeah. Particularly in the C1 category as well. Both C1 men and C1 women have got great idols to look up to here. You know, Mikulas Martican, Alexander Slavkovsky, Matej Benes. You know, 3 of the best slalom paddlers in the world, actually regardless of category. So they've definitely got the role models. They've definitely got people to learn from, and she'll know this course well. She'll have raced here plenty of times before.
So when you were young, did you have a hero on your bedroom wall?
Yeah, definitely. I massively looked up to Martican as well, and Tony Estanguet. You know, I think you ask almost, she's picking up penalty at 13. That's 2 to Anena, but she's looking quite fast, so she might be able to absorb those. Yeah, definitely. I think you could ask almost any C1 paddler on the circuit today, and they'd tell you Mikulas Martican, Tony Estanguet were who they looked up to. You know, the 2 guys just dominated the sport for so many years. Tony retired now, but leading the charge in France for their for the Paris 2024 Olympic Games. And Martican's still competing. We saw him, was he fourth yesterday, fourth or fifth?
Yeah, that's right, yeah.
But one of the fastest boats down, he picked up a penalty, he's still got it.
And he's on busy duty today, he's doing lots of social work here.
Yeah, and coaching the Chinese as well, I heard a little bit.
Well, anyway, we're not lack of respect for Monica, but I don't think she's really going to...
it's just those penalties, she was fast.
Yeah.
8 seconds of penalties, unfortunately you can't take that many touches and get into these finals. Here we go, first of the Germans.
But she's been around an awful long time, Lina Stocklin.
Yeah, definitely, and we can see there she picked up a bronze medal at the World Cup 2, which was in Augsburg last year on her home course. Let's see if she can add to that here today in Liptovsky.
She's compact and powerful.
Yeah, it sits really low in the boat as well, and it's good for balance. See a lot of the C1 paddlers do that. They choose to have a low seat and sit nice and low, and means you can just focus on going fast, I guess. You don't have to worry about the balance too much.
But when you say sit, you're actually kneeling?
Yeah, of course, yeah, kneeling, but we tend to have a foam block just so we're not sitting right on the bottom of the boat.
And some people, do you know people cramp up at all still? You don't want to spend hours in, or just get used to it?
Yeah, it's hard to stay in a boat for too long. Another one, you can just see Lena there taking a touch on 11. That's the second penalty we've seen on that gate today. And she's gone for the peel-out option as well that we saw the young Slovak girl go for. It's not really paid off for her as well with the touch on 12. It's a narrow little window to fit through there between gate 12 and the wall. Coming into this last section with +4, she's going to have to keep this clean if she's going to be competitive now.
So we've obviously seen some video analysis and the athletes saying, well, try the peel out. And maybe the later athletes will say, okay, perhaps it doesn't work.
Yeah, I think we'll see the later athletes all going for the spin. We saw it was the fastest yesterday. Definitely we saw a lot of errors there as well, which is probably why some of these girls are trying the peel out option, but it doesn't look like it's really working for them. +4 seconds, she was 3 seconds down at the second split, so she is fast, but the touches might be costly. She sprints to the line, it's going to be tight.
They're starting to group, aren't they? 3 athletes within a really small bit of time.
Definitely, yeah, they're starting to get quite close, but I think we're yet to see someone really take this course apart.
Well, as we mentioned a couple of minutes ago, Michael Martican was spending a fair bit of time in the last week coaching the Chinese. He said mainly he can give value of telling them where the underwater rocks are and how to approach different gates. So I know they were listening attentively. Anyway, it's Shichen. And they have their Asian Games coming up in October, which is going to be obviously big for them.
Yeah, it's a huge competition for those guys, I think. Almost a priority race for the season, I think.
Very much. The priority, as I understand, is that come before the Olympics. That's where the money is.
She's off to a solid start as well. Oh, she's 4.5 seconds down, so she is down on the Russian girl that started it off, but she's clean as well, and we saw that a lot of time was changing hands on this bottom half, so she does have opportunity to make that up.
Looking really good, Sarah.
Yeah, really nice crosses in there. She's going for the peel-out option as well. She's kept gate 12 clean. Can she keep this clean through 13 as well? Over the rock. Yeah, it just gets through, yeah.
This looks like completely planned and put into action.
This is looking like, yeah, she's taken on this bottom half of the course really well. Has she given away too much time at the top? She's made up some of that deficit that she had on the top. But she might have just left herself with too much to do on this bottom half. But again,
she's been going full out for 1.5 minutes now. Fatigue must come to her.
Definitely, yeah. You get to this point, and especially that long flat section just above the bridge, it really does take it out of your arms. And these last upstream as well, the water's not helping you a lot in there. Ooh, just taking a bit of a hit on the stopper, although she's looked like she's got good space for this. Stinging the tail down here. It's not.
Where she was ahead, wasn't she? Then it suddenly.
Yeah, it's just got away from her a little bit there.
That's a shame. So good to work on, but disappointing.
Yeah, I think she can take a lot from that performance. You know, she took on the difficult moves in the middle section really well. One of the best that we've seen so far. Just looks like she gave away time a bit cheaply in other places.
It's all about taking new challenges in life. Luca James
Yeah, Luca Jones. So Rio 2016 silver medalist in the women's kayaks decided to try a hand at C1. It looks like a 50-second penalty showing on gate 4. Fortunately, the camera panned to her just after. We were still watching at the bottom of the course, so I'm not too sure what went on there. Maybe just could have been necking just inside it. You have to get your whole head inside the gate. Maybe she didn't.
We'll have a look at it.
Hopefully they'll. We might see a replay if if it proves costly. But she looks like she's paddling really well. Taken to C1 really naturally. Another girl taking a touch on gate 12. Another one trying the peel out as well. So yeah, definitely makes the line to 13 easier, but it's difficult to stay off the poles and just pick up another touch through that sequence as well. Chopping wood out here, Luca. She needs to keep this second half clean if she's going to be competitive. Although with a 50-second penalty shown, if that stays, I'm sure the video judge will have a look if it's close, and she has the opportunity to protest it as well if she doesn't agree. But it looks like the time she's giving away here as well. I don't think we're going to be seeing Luca again this afternoon, unfortunately.
More learning than. But like yourself yesterday, this is from an amateur perspective, once you'd taken out gate 3, was it something mental that went wrong, or was it?
A little bit. It's really hard to know what to do sometimes, whether you try and make the time up, or as a general rule, 9 out of 10 times it's best just to stick to the plan that you had. I ended up rushing a bit, and you can see Luca there. She's just really tired. I think that's what happens. If you start to rush, you get tired, and mistakes just happen, and it just snowballs and gets worse and worse as you go down. We'll see her again next week in Krakow, and she'll definitely be in with a shot for a medal as well.
So the people from the People's Republic of China coming thick and fast, Yi Yang.
Yeah, it's racing in her first World Cup, so we see ICF rank 148, so yeah, she definitely hasn't done enough races to get her world ranking up yet, but she's looking pretty good so far. Fortunate touch on gate 5.
You have to start somewhere, because you seasoned pros, you've been on the scene so many times, especially the Europeans who come through the juniors, so by the time you hit the seniors, no one scares you anymore.
Yeah, definitely. We're lucky in Europe as well to have our European Championships. We get to go on a lot of these courses. The people from my age range, we had Junior Under 23 Europeans here back in 2009, Junior Under 23 World Championships here in 2013. Also raced World Cup here 2015, and there was a Euros as well in 2016. So yeah, it's a venue that gets used a lot, and we see that a lot in canoe slalom. You know, Seo, Prague, Augsburg, a lot of these venues we revisit almost every year. So definitely it helps to be on the team multiple years in a row. You really get to know these places well.
Right, she's still doing well.
Yeah, only a second and a half down. Just dropping low into gate 17, so maybe a little bit more slipping away there, but you know, we saw it. You can make up time on this last section. I think this is another penalty she picked up. Yeah, just catching it on her back in the gate 18.
It's nothing dramatic, is there? It's just going gently down the stream.
Yeah. Sometimes they're the best runs, the ones that look like effortless. But unfortunately, I don't think this is quite one of those. Again, she's having trouble here on the last move. It's difficult. You've got to get out to the right-hand side of the gate so you can almost see through it, the line to 22, and just looked a bit narrow on it, and yeah, she's going to go in behind.
So you're a student of the game. Are you analysing sort of every run? You seem to can't get enough of this game.
Yeah, definitely. Just love it. I think it's the same for most canoe slalom paddlers. You know, we all absolutely love it, and it's the challenge of it. It's a hard sport. That's what makes it exciting. You know.
So now Liptovsky from Slovakia again.
Another Slovakian, so we can hear the drum in the background. I'm not sure if you can hear that through here, but we can hear it from the commentary box. Slovakian fans, you know, really proud of their canoe slalom athletes.
And the ultimate was even a couple of Czech athletes were given the honour.
Definitely, yeah. It's one of those sports that can be really humbling. You know, you can be a medalist one weekend and not even make semi-finals the next. It is really difficult. We're seeing the nature of it here in this category here, but she's doing well. Another one taking the touch on gate 12. She has chosen that peel out option. I do think that gap is a little bit narrow to fit through there. She's got through without too much drama, so only the one penalty showing at the moment.
So does a previous experience, like you recently came second in the Europeans, does that set you up for the season?
Definitely, it's nice to get a result early on for sure. In Britain, it's funding goes off our results. For me, that secures the same funding that I'm on this year for next year. So, that's a weight off my mind, which is nice. And yeah, we analyse that performance. You analyse the bad days, you analyse the good days. There's plenty to learn from both. And just picked up she's picked up another penalty. It's +4, going to be showing on her time now. Spinning there to make that move a little bit easier. I think she's going to go in behind though, isn't she? Yeah, already she's slower. But yeah, as we were just saying, you can learn from the bad days as well. So she can watch this back, compare herself to who eventually wins, and see what lessons can be learned.
Here's a potential winner, Nadine Radschning. She's young, dynamic. Sometimes you don't want to listen to every word she says, but she's really a star for the future.
Definitely, yeah. She's really fast, capable of some lightning quick times. Look at the way she whips the boat around in gate 5. That was really fast. I've seen her, just really light it up a lot in the heats rounds and semi-finals and stuff. We haven't seen her feature on the podium potentially as much as she's capable of at the moment. She's prone to make mistakes as well. She's so fast when she gets it right. But we saw yesterday, on Friday even in the heats, she had to qualify off the second runs, which is why she's off so early. And then again there she's made a mistake. Just breaking out too early by 11. Pole swinging, and it looks like, she's picked up a 2-second penalty as well. And again, she's taken that too tight at gate 12, and she's touched gate 13, which means she doesn't have the opportunity to go back for gate 12 either. So 50 seconds penalty, 54 seconds showing on her time now. She's not going to be in the final, unfortunately. As we were saying, she's a really fast paddler, but maybe just races on the edge of what she's capable of, and sometimes she pulls it off and she's lightning quick, and sometimes she has a performance like this where another penalty. You can see it just, once you start making mistakes in canoe slalom, it's really hard to get things back under control. And
but you all work with psychologists, don't you?
Yeah. In Britain we have a team psychologist. I'm sure a lot of the other nations do as well, and it's the kind of thing we talk about, how to refocus and how to stick to the plan, things like that. But it's not always easy. Sometimes you do feel like you are better off going fast to try and catch up what you've lost. Another start here, Lucie Badou from France. French, another nation with lots of good C1 paddlers in both the men and the women categories.
It's just competitive. There's probably 400 or 500 people that on their day could really put on a good time. A lot of wild water people as well. Yeah,
definitely. Really, really high participation in France in the sport, which is what drives their team to be so good as well. When you have a selection series as competitive as theirs, then you got a good team, and you can see she's half a second up on the first split. I think Lucie's the first girl we've seen go faster than the young Russian so far as well. So just giving herself space here. This is nice, really nice to get 10 and 11.
That's interesting, isn't it? She's taking a wider line.
Yeah, I think she's seen what's gone on earlier and realising a lot of mistakes are happening, and she doesn't need to cut the lines. You don't need to be the fastest run. You don't need to win the race in the semi-final. It's the final that counts. That's where you win the medals. And it looks like she's doing a really smart job of just keeping things under control, making sure she stays clean, and do a good job to get herself in the medal race.
And this is all down to experience, isn't it? It's managing what you see. She's nearly 4 seconds up.
She's flying now. She needs to keep this last section under control. It's the advantage of qualifying a bit higher up as well. You get to watch the first few boats, get a feel for how the race is going, and sometimes it means you change your plan. Sometimes you see, actually everyone's flying, it's going to be a hard semi-final, and it could work against you. But
so far looking really good. And there's quite a few of the top athletes walking down and in their zone with their headphones on, occasionally glancing up at the screen, but mainly just watching the gates. Let's see how she goes now.
She's having to take a spin on 21, but it looks like she's not lost too much there.
Any luck, she'll be through.
1:19, so she gave away a little bit of her advantage there on the last section, but into the lead.
Well, athletes going off every 2 minutes, that's why occasionally they're having to pull away from the beginning.
Miran Lazcano from Spain. She won a silver medal last year at the World Cup, so she is capable of being on the podium. Nice round gate 5. The upstream on 5 isn't actually really on an eddy, it's on the back of the stopper. So it's one of those feel-good moves for the athletes when you get it right. The water does it all for you. She's 2 seconds down at the moment on the lead, but we saw some time was given away on the last section with that, so she can definitely make that up. Really nice round gate 10 there. Does she give herself enough space in 11? Yes, and she's fast, taking the line a bit tighter as well. Oh, another one going for the peel out. Did she stay off that left-hand pole of gate 12? So far, no penalty showing, so I think
good
she did.
Speed, isn't she? Good speed coming through.
Oh, yeah, she looked good through that section, but still didn't quite get far left enough for 14. And
Give it a 40.
oh, 15-second penalty showing on 14. It looked tight. She kind of went through the pole. It's whether the pole went the right side of her or not. She's only a second down without that, so not on a bad run.
And there's about 4 levels of judging. So there's the paper judging, they pass it through, then there's an occasional analysis, then there's an in-depth analysis, and there's a super slow motion that can stop the images, so it's pretty much...
Yeah, definitely. So it is rare these days that the judges get these decisions wrong, so I'm sure if there is anything to look at, they'll have a good look at that one. And
well, if you ever have a chance to go in the tent, there's literally a team of 6 people, including the high-ranking officials, that are really checking every move, and they don't really know which athlete it is, they just watch the boat. Okay, so if the 50 comes off, it would be good.
Yeah, she'll be competitive if that comes off.
And Teresa Fizerova.
Yeah, she's been really good these last few years. As you can see on the screen there, World Junior Champion in 2016. Really attacking this course now.
I suppose it's normal. There's quite a high correlation in this sport between medaling at the Junior Worlds and making it to the top.
Yeah, definitely. You know, we see a lot of the athletes that perform well at junior level. They make the transition into seniors really easily. Start getting themselves in finals, winning medals early on. But it's not essential. You know, we see athletes sometimes not even make their national junior team, and then really kind of come through when they get to seniors. So yeah, there's a bit of a mix. So far, Teresa is looking really good. Nice round the double up there.
Lots of switching, lots of confidence. I suppose you can practice the switching anyway, really. You can sit on a chair and do it, can't you?
Yeah, and that's a really fast one there as well.
Amazing. You saw videos of Jess Fox twirling, in fact, with the baton around her head.
Oh, really? That's how she practices her switching. Then I've seen people analysing Jess's switching, and there's they identified 5 or 6 different ways that she actually switches depending on the situation. I'm not sure if she's conscious of which one she uses at each time, or if it's just what position she's in and she goes for. But yeah, it's definitely an art to it. And when I've tried it in the past, I kind of just freestyle and flail at the T-piece and sometimes miss it, have to go again. So
I've never seen her drop paddle though, not at this level.
That's true actually. I don't think I've seen that either. Oh, just having a bit of trouble there, but she saves
fast.
it, and she is quick.
This is the nose.
Another one under 120 we're going to see here. Oh, just over. She looks frustrated with the 2-second penalty. Is that half a smile on her face? I don't know. She looks like she feels like she might be in with a shot still.
Half the athletes gone here is Sage Donnelly. Another youngster from the States.
Yeah, only 17, racing in a senior World Cup semi-final, so it's good. She's got a short paddle, she's got a really short stroke, but she's really repping and like fast.
Incredibly short.
Good start. Nice run, gate 5.
Looks like she's pinched Siduri's paddle.
Yeah, so there's another one with a short rep. Only 700ths down, so well in touch with the time so far. Looks like she's working hard though, so has she saved enough energy for this bottom section where this is where the race is going to be won and lost today. Nice round gate 10. Does she give herself enough space for 11? Yes, she does. Let's see what option she goes for here in 12. She's going forwards in gate 12.
Looks like it's well.
Surely she'll spin this one if she gets there. Oh, and she's in. That was really nice. That's the option we saw a lot of the men go for yesterday, and it proved very fast. Clean as well. She's on a really good run so far. Let's see if she can hold this together now. I think we could see a new lead here. I think she's going to be up on the split.
Yeah, 3 seconds up.
3 seconds up. So and a penalty.
2
So
seconds back.
a little bit lower in the upstream as well. So that's potentially her advantage gone. Definitely still in touch for the lead though, if she can get to the bottom without any more errors. Oh, just couldn't get a little bit tight there into the up left. Another 2 second penalty.
But still an exceptionally good run.
Just having to wait here as well. She is on a good run still though. Oh, and another penalty. You can see it's just got away from her. I wonder if she did go a little bit too hard off the start, and you know, physically it's easy for it to get away from you on the bottom half. She looks a bit upset there.
No, it was so close, but yeah, I'm not sure it's going to be enough.
Oh, we have the first of the British girls, Sophie Ogilvie. Did look like she just took a penalty on gate 1 though, actually, so hopefully she can refocus. And another one as well there on the spin, gate 3.
So tell us about Sophie. She doesn't like a storm, does she?
No, which is surprising because she's actually from Scotland, so she should be used to the bad weather. Yeah, recently moved down to Lee Valley. She gets to train with Mallory and Kim, so great role models for her. You know, they're at the top of the sport in Senior Women. Sophie, yeah, still relatively inexperienced at the senior level, so yeah, she's.
Was it a surprise she did so well in the trials?
So it wasn't a surprise that she did so well. You know, we've got so many girls in Britain that are really good at this category. But no, she's definitely one of them. She's up there and earned her place here in the World Cup. She's got some more World Cup races this year to come to as well. And it looks like after a bad start, she's got her run back under control, but I wonder if she's left herself with too much to do. That was very nice through there as well, so really nice spin down. So she's definitely making time up. Really controlled through 15 as well. It's a shame she's made errors at the top here. It looks like she's just clipped gate 16 as well on front of the buoyancy aid. Could see another penalty pop up. Oh. And again, yeah, penalties coming in now. You see another one who, you know, made errors at the top and has maybe just gone a little bit too hard to try and rescue it. But she was really good through the hard section in the middle, so she could definitely be very proud of what she's done there today. A lot to take from this World Cup. Good experience for her as well, getting on the start line, just, you know, just showing up. You've got to put yourself out there.
And will we see Sophie next week?
And yeah, I think we'll see Sophie next week in Krakow and Augsburg as well. Yeah, she's not happy with that.
I suppose that's a good sign.
Definitely, yeah. She's definitely showed signs of really good C1 paddling there. I think she was the best through that middle section that we've seen so far. I'm biased, but
back to Russia, Daria. So they're over.
To
17
Russia.
years old.
Again, yeah, 17 years old and a high world ranking, so this could be her first World Cup. The Russians look like they've done a bit of rebuilding of their team in recent years. A lot of young paddlers.
It's all down to Olympics and funding, isn't it, really?
Definitely, yeah. We tend to see shifts around after the games, people retiring, coaches moving on and so forth. New people coming in.
And in Russia, do they have many slalom courses, or do they tend to be based over here?
I don't know much about it, but I know the Russians train a lot in Pau, in France, and I think they spend quite a lot of time here as well. Regulars at the Tatra Slalom, which is an international race that happens here around May time. So yeah, we do tend to see the Russians do quite well when there's races here, because yeah, they definitely spend more time here than other nations. It's like the Polish as well. It's only a couple of hours drive from Krakow, so the Polish and other nations spend a lot of time here as well. And yeah, it looks like she's kept it clean, but she's lost quite a lot of time, and more time creeping away there. Just makes it into the eddy of 17 to climb back up. But it's a clean run so far. I don't want to jinx her, which is something to be proud of in itself, getting through all these moves without taking penalties. It is a hard course, and we saw the men's struggle yesterday as well. There's a lot going on down there. There's an extra jet of water that comes in from the right around the rock, and it makes for a really surgy eddy line.
But she's putting in a respectable time. It looks good for Lucie Badu from France, who's on the first off. She's at 19 seconds. So she's closed up by Teresa Fizarova. And then there's a bit of a gap down the field. So we've had 16 athletes gone so far. And Simona Makova.
Yeah, another of the Slovak girls. This is the third we've seen, I think. So, yeah, their highest qualifier, I think, in this race. It's 2 seconds down so far, so a little bit of time has crept away, but she's in touch.
But they're really throwing the young ones in, aren't they? Give them experience, blood and rally.
Definitely, yeah. The C1w women from Slovakia all seem, I think they're all juniors still. So it's kind of how it goes, I think, because the discipline is relatively new. A lot of younger athletes that took it up straight away, you know, advanced very quickly, and there's not many older athletes competing in this event yet. It's going to be 5 to 10 years before we start seeing athletes, like multiple athletes in their 30s competing. You know, a lot of juniors still able to compete and do very well. She's had a bit of trouble there at gate 12, 13 even, sorry, a touch showing as well. So she's quite a long way down on the split. It's not looking good for Slovakia so far for having a girl in this final. Her teammates currently sat in 7th and 8th, but with lots of boats to go.
And you can see in the picture that you have Sebastian Schubert with his very smart new beard, who's checking out the course a bit later.
Yeah, he'll be getting ready. Yeah, definitely the men's kayak is starting to be arrived now, and their semi-final follows this one. 50-second penalty as well for Simona here, so almost certainly won't be featuring this afternoon, unfortunately. Yeah, another penalty on the bottom. You can just see it. It's a cruel sport. You don't have to do a lot wrong, and it just gets away from you sometimes.
My impression of watching for the last 100 people down is that no one's really tamed the course. I suppose Jess Fox looked good yesterday, and we saw Ryan Wesley look really, really smooth in certain parts, but no one's really said, I've beaten the course. Maybe Sidus did.
Yeah, Sidus is very good, but yeah, he wasn't as quick as Ryan or Martican. Both did 95s. I think that 95 in C1m was very quick. There was maybe something slightly bit faster in there, but yeah, it is canoe slalom though. You know, you don't see the perfect run. There's normally a bit more in it. We see the splits at the end of the event, and different athletes have gone faster on different sections, so we tend to know what a kind of virtual best time would be.
And Lucy Priaulx is looking like she's going for it.
Yeah, I think she was first boat on the French team this year. Oh,
really making use of her
really good
samba skills.
Yeah, good balance as well.
And I suppose that's why you all have such amazing calls. It's all control, isn't it, really?
Definitely, yeah. You've got to be really strong through the core for this sport. You know, you've got to just to hold your body upright and pull against the paddle is. You've got to be strong for that if you want to transfer what you're doing, kind of pulling into actual forwards movement in the boat.
I know you a couple of years ago were posting pictures of yourself on lampposts. Every time you saw a lamppost, you went horizontal. Are you still doing that? Yeah,
still a little bit of human flags, and I like training on gymnastics rings as well, and yoga and things like that. Yeah.
Anyway, Lucy's putting forward a fine run, so far clean.
Yeah, it's looking good. I think she had a bit of a deficit off the start, but she was good through the middle. But it looks like she's left herself with too much to do and lost time on the bottom half as well. Fortunately, I don't think we're going to see her again this afternoon. 8th place so far, but with 12 boats left to finish. And here we have Mallory Franklin from Great Britain.
World champion.
Reigning world champion, yeah. Only 24.
Extraordinary. Didn't she make, was she the youngest ever to make the senior team at 12 years old or something ridiculous?
She's only been paddling for so many years. I'm not sure 12. I think it's a little bit older than that, but certainly early teens and racing World Cup. So really experienced, one of the most experienced athletes in C1 women. In fact, she was competing in C1 against the men before there was a C1 women category. Really good skills in the boat with white water, lots of control, looking good so far.
If you watch her eyes, it's just like lasers. The way she knows where she's going to go.
Yeah, she's got really good focus. It looks like she's missed the T-piece there on her switch. Which is very rare. You don't see that very often, but she's kept it together. She's really composed athlete, so and she knows that she has time in hand. She can make mistakes and still make the final. You can just see her eyes there, watching the far pole, just making sure her bow stayed clear. And yeah, she's up on the split still, even with the errors, so she's on a good run.
And I guess becoming the world champion's done her good. It sort of shows all the hard work has actually paid off.
Definitely, yeah. She's waited for that for a long time. She's had 2 silver medals at the World Championships in the past. She loves a race against Jess Fox. You can see she's ranked number 2 at the moment. Jess is number 1. Mallory, she really wants that world rank number 1. So, and it looks like we're going to see her again this afternoon in the final.
Well, unless she falls out.
There we go. Yeah, just kept it clean. I think this is the first run athlete we've seen really take this course apart.
Yeah,
1:15, 1:16. There you go. We'll see her in the final later.
You can see she's calculating for the final already. It's not like, wow, I've done a good run. It's let's go.
Definitely, yeah. She won't be celebrating for too long. She knows that she can do better than that.
One of the veterans, Claire Jacquet, who's really been around a long time.
Yeah, and we've seen her have some really good runs over the last couple of years as well. You see she's changed her paddle this year. Last year she had a paddle with it was red, white and blue in the French flag. It looked really nice. Maybe it was a bit heavy, you know, the extra pigment. So it looks like she's opted just for plain black this year. She's a little bit down, but as we saw, Mallory was really fast, so she can still be competitive with the top few boats.
I think that's what we needed there. We needed someone really to take on the course and say it's possible, because 10 athletes left to go.
Definitely, yeah. I still think we can see something sub 1:15, maybe even as close to about 1:10, 1:11 maybe, for someone to really take it apart. But
3 Australians to go. Let's see how they.
3 Australians, another British as well, Kim Woods. I don't think we're going to see the best of this class until the final, but it's going to take something pretty good to win the gold medal this afternoon, I think.
And that will be Central European time at midday. Now it is 22:10.
4 seconds of penalty showing, but she's only 2.7 down, so she has been faster than Mallory so far. So she is on a good run, and she's in touch for second place at the moment.
Much damage on the boats? Have you been in the boat yard? Has anyone been hit anything? Because there's quite a few rocks underneath.
Yeah, it's a bit of a bony one, this course. A lot of the rocks you can't see as well. My teammate Chris, actually, he's repairing his boat today. He actually broke his boat on the flat water, so I'm not sure how he quite managed that. And
bit of a mess. Just
switching hands maybe at the wrong time there to take a penalty. Will that extra touch be costly? Just going to be outside the top 3, yeah, into 5th place.
Well, that could be anything to go. So we have 10 athletes to go.
Nuria Villarubla from Spain, bronze medalist from the World Championships.
And she's really out there, isn't she? She's one of the most dynamic paddlers. Let's see how she goes. An absolute goddess when she's in her own town in Sayer. Everyone knows about her, everyone talks to her, she's coming to, and great control. Wins some really good races. And you see her slightly down, but a slight build, but again, one of those athletes that seems to really understand the dynamics.
Definitely, yeah, as we said at the start of this race as well, if you're within about a second at that first split, then you're in touch, and it looks like she's making light work of this so far. Really fast through gate 10 and 11. You can see where the water comes in from the other channel on the right hand side. Makes a very powerful eddy at gate 11. The water changes around a lot there, and she got a really nice swirl that she took advantage of. It's quite a lot like Sao, this course, where Nuri is based.
Same designer.
Same designer as well, okay. So yeah, I always expect the Spanish to do well here. A lot of similarities, it's very shallow. Lots of features, but quite small features, so you've got to work hard to use them. Just see there, she's getting a little bit caught up. Another one struggling with the switch a little bit. We don't see that very often with the girls.
Maybe because it's cold.
Could be cold hands, actually. Yeah, definitely. It is a bit harder to hold onto the paddle for sure. Your grip starts to go, and yeah, I think she's still definitely on pace to get in the final if she can keep this last bit together.
There's a huge contrast. Wednesday it was 30 odd degrees, and then suddenly we woke up after the big storm on Wednesday evening with Thursday with down to 15, and then today it's about 12.
Yeah, it often happens here. Oh, let's just see where she goes in. Oh, into 7th place.
No, not happy.
So it's going to be tight. It doesn't look like she's going to be in it. We can just see we're into the last 10 now, so that does put Mallory Franklin into the final. But yeah, the weather, it's pretty crazy. I remember we came here a couple of years ago for a chapter slalom, and one of my friends sent me a picture a couple of days before in his t-shirt and sunglasses, and I was just packing, so packed all my summer clothes, and then got here, and by the time it was racing, it was snowing, it was -2, -3, and I had no winter kit, so it was pretty cold.
68 from France, lives just south, it's down the river from Pau. Been on the team off and on for the last 5 or 6 years now.
Yeah, she's featured for quite a long time, so she's got quite a high world ranking there, and really good, definitely capable of putting it down. We've seen 2 good French boats so far. You know, Lucy Berdou in particular really good today. See if Cecile can take on her teammate.
She's always disappointed if she misses the semi-final. She's gutted if she misses the final. She's gutted if she makes the final. She could have done better.
Definitely, yeah. I think it's the same with everyone in these events. You know, everyone wants to be in the final. It's a really good feeling racing World Cup finals. You've got the crowd behind you, and you've got a chance to win a medal. It's nice to know that you're going to finish in the top 10 at least as well. So yeah, it's definitely disappointing to not be there. But you know, there's a lot more than 10 athletes in the race, so and only 10 can race the final. So it's not easy. And so far, she's not on a bad run.
Really having to pull harder.
Yeah, you can see she's working hard, her body's moving a lot. Doesn't switch much. It shows that I think she's getting a bit tired. Do you see that sometimes? It's, you know, we were talking about the core earlier. You know, when you start getting tired, you see just a bit more body movement as the core gets fatigued. It's hard to hold still, and it just means you're not transferring what you're doing with your paddle into forward speed quite as well. And it looks like she's not going to be competing to 11th place, so already not in the final, but that does mean her teammate Lucy Berdou is in the final. Clara from Spain, another girl from Spain here, so yeah, can we expect a good performance? Similar to La Seo de Gel, as we said.
Especially the start, isn't it? It widens out a bit later.
Yeah.
The first section will be obviously in La Seo later in the summer. They're hosting the World Championships next year. Well,
Right, she's up on the split, so really good start here for Clara. Don't think we've really seen the best of her yet in previous years, but this is a really good start. Really small paddler, and she's definitely got some room to get stronger as well. But it looks like she's flying at them right now. Going for the peel out. We've not seen many athletes do that for a little while, but making much better work of it than we saw some of the early athletes doing. Oh, you can just see there, she is really light. The water just throwing around a little bit, and she took a touch.
Good escape there.
Yeah, did well, just stuck inside gate 14 and not lose too much. She's not going to be too far down here. So far, you could be 3 seconds down and still make the final. She's almost 6 seconds down, so she is going to need to produce on this bottom half of the course now if she's going to be competitive. I'm predicting that you're going to need to do a 120 or less to feature in this final at the moment.
I think you're one of our better predictors, so not far off the mark there.
Choosing the spin there on 21, I think that's quite a good option just to make sure of it, but I'm not sure she has the time to do that. Now already over 120.
Yeah, 124 is good enough now.
Into 11th place. It's a shame that, because she got off to a really good start. She was looking strong. Definitely a prospect for the future and maybe the rest of the season. Oh, but at the top of the course we have Kimberly Woods.
Kimberly has no excuses at all, because she sat in with us yesterday for the men's, so she knows exactly what needs to be done.
Definitely, yeah. So she's watched a lot of racing. She's raced yesterday in the women's kayak. She finished 12th, I think. She was really happy with the way she was paddling. But she'll be keen for a medal in the C1 women event. Kimberly and Mallory, both of them regulars to feature on the World Cup podium, so you know, she's used to doing well. 2-second penalty showing, but she was in touch at the top still, so she's been quick.
That's good.
Nice start. Fortunate enough, you know, she trains in the group with me, so you know, I taught her to do that. No, she's great, and it's awesome actually training with both Mallory and Kim. They're both just so used to doing well and winning races.
So you turn up at the office at 9 every morning, put your kit on, and it's hard work.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, you know, they teach me a lot as well, these girls. Both of them really good at just using the water well. Yeah, only a second down with 4 seconds of penalty showing, so she's flying. She's picking up touches, but she's fast enough to absorb them. She just needs to take care of these last few gates now, and yeah, we're going to see Kimberly in the final as well, I think.
Well, 3 athletes have already qualified, so we have another one.
It's definitely not her best performance, but it's going to be enough. And she'll know what to do. She'll watch the video and she'll come out fighting later. Oh, another penalty. Could that? I still think she's okay. Into 4th place, and yeah, straight into the final. So yeah, she's not happy. She can definitely do lots better than that. We can see her getting down to the 110 kind of area this afternoon, I think. It'd be great to see 2 British girls in this final.
Andrea Herzog, 18 years old, from Germany, but has a good pedigree. Look at that, double junior champion.
Yeah, double junior world champion, so really good, and trying to make her mark on the seniors now. Her teammate Lane are currently sat in 7th place, so needs 3 people to go in behind us. So
we've got lots of the favourites coming through, or lots of the big names in the last 5 or 6 years have made it to a really fascinating final.
Definitely, yeah. It's what we see. I think the high qualifiers and heats are generally the ones who are going to be competitive for the final. So we could always have expected the times to just get faster and faster, and the names to get bigger.
We saw yesterday in the K1 women, 2 or 3 of the extra junior medalists from the world have actually made the final. So it was good to see the stepping up, the changing of the ranks.
Yeah, definitely. It's always nice to see new names doing well. Another athlete going for the peel-out option, and she does that very well. Makes that look easy.
That was good, isn't it?
That was really nice. I don't think it's as fast as the spin, but I'm not sure if you need to go as fast as the spin to make this final. You've just got to do a solid job. We think 120 is about the mark, but I think there's something close to. I think there's like a 111 or a 112 that's possible on this course for these girls. So it's definitely, they don't need to take all the risks in this semi-final.
And then the challenge is you have about an hour and a half to either change your kit or keep warm.
Definitely, yeah. There's not a great deal of time between runs, but there is enough time to watch the video of who's done well. Everyone's going to have maybe new plans or just understand how to. She's really flying.
It's going to qualify.
Yeah, 117 in 2nd place, straight into the final. That's a really good performance. That so young as well.
Well, Rosalind's no excuses either, because she was with Kimberly Wood yesterday in the commentating.
Yeah, definitely, and also racing in the women's kite. Already having a little bit of trouble at gate 3. Just a little bit of issues with balance there. It looked like she's lost a bit of grip on the water. A penalty as well, yeah. But very experienced Ros. She's been on the scene in the women's C1 for quite a long time now. Won a lot of medals.
Good at the chin-up challenge as well.
Yeah, and also a bit of a ninja warrior as well in Australia. We've seen her do, yeah, really good climber as well as canoeist. Oh, just another penalty. Just
2 really small penalties.
Yeah, quite cheap penalties those with the paddle. Just leaving it out. She's got to keep it a bit tighter into her body so she can fit through these gates. So she's down on the split, 5 seconds down. 4 seconds of that is penalty, so she's fast. She's gone forwards there.
4 athletes to go afterwards.
Get through 13. Looks like she's struggling just a little bit. Losing more time.
How does it affect you when you have the official announcer saying she's losing lots of time here? Can you blank it out, or do you go?
Yeah, sometimes you hear it, sometimes you don't. For me, I notice if they say my name, I think because it's just something you're used to hearing, so that tends to stick out. But yeah, you do hear your split. I think it's one of the things that we talk about with our team psychologists and our coaches, that you just got to kind of ignore it. The splits, they aren't always right as well. That's the other thing. So you could hear you're down, and actually you might be on a really good run. You don't know if there's a penalty showing on your time that might not, that might get taken off. Things like that. You really don't know, and it's even if it is the case, there's a lot to focus on. Just to new startup is hard. You can't be thinking about something else.
She's really suffering from the 2 early penalties here.
Yeah, it doesn't look like she's going to feature, unfortunately. +6, and all that time she lost in the middle as well.
Next to get a European champion. Vicky Wolfhard, who did well. She fourth in the K1, and now she comes to the C1. She said she needs both events.
Yeah, we definitely saw her compete really well in the women's kayak final yesterday. Yeah, reigning European champion for Prague just 2 weeks ago. Really difficult course. We saw the C1 women having a lot of trouble in that final, and Vicky, yeah, making the best of it. She's well in touch there, just a 10th down. She's qualified high as well. There's only a few boats left to go, so she'll know she's on form at the moment with a good heats performance.
Absolutely flying.
Yeah, gives herself space around these two upstreams. How does she get on with this move? She's going for the spin. Leaves off the pole at 11. Whoa, just
okay?
ducks to the side, 13. I think it was okay. So definitely got her head inside.
Well, she's not going through the middle, is she?
Yeah, nothing's showing at the moment. Definitely gave the judges a decision to make, but looks like they've deemed it okay. So on she goes. 3 seconds down, but she is in touch. So far, it's a 1:21 at the moment. So a little bit slower than I expected to make this final.
We can see the drone just going past the window, so here the good pictures.
Yeah, we can just see the drone. I like these shots from above. I think they look really cool. It's like chasing the athlete down the course.
The challenge is really to get the authorization, because the standards are going up all the time. But obviously the security is the most important thing.
Yeah, definitely. Oh, she's done really well there on that last movement. A comfortable performance, I think. Yeah, into 6th place, into the final.
One of the first to go.
So she'll be early off in the final, but you know, she's just made that quite easy and got the job done. That's the important thing. We all start from zero later.
One of the 5 athletes who made the K1 final yesterday, it's Anna Saptila, who's only 22, but been around forever.
Yeah, she's been around for a long time. I competed in the Olympic Games in London 2012, which would have been, what, she'd been 16 then. She lit it up at the Pan Am Champs not long before that as well, so there's a lot of hype around that. Unfortunately, she wasn't able to perform at her home games in Rio. Didn't make it through the heats, but she was really fast actually. Just a bit unlucky. It's just the way canoe slalom can go sometimes. Like one small mistake and your race could be over. But having a much better weekend so far here. You know, women's kayak final yesterday, qualified high in the C1. She's on a good run so far. So can she make it 2 finals from 2? Choosing the spin option.
No, we like this. The Slovakians like her because the drum's going.
Yeah, I'm not sure what the connection is with Anna and Slovakia. Maybe they've seen her race there before. Potentially junior under 23 worlds back in 2013. Maybe she performed particularly well and they remember her. It's nice to hear the home crowd getting behind her there as well.
And you can always see the bright blue tracksuits following her down.
Yeah, there are her teammates on the side cheering her on. Haven't been the biggest team, Brazil, but definitely with the extra funding and support the sport's had from in the build-up to the Rio Olympic Games. You know, there's more athletes doing well. We've got Anna in the women, Pedro in the men's kayak as well. Good performer. We'll see him later.
It looks like we're going to see Anna in the final.
It does, doesn't it? Yeah, even with her touch, pretty comfortably in 3rd place.
Well, that's good news. So far qualified is Mallory Franklin, Anna Herzog, the double junior world champion, Anna Stillegaze in 3rd, Lucy Barsi, one of the early athletes down for France, Teresa Fizarova, Kimberly Woods, Vicky Wolfhard, and it looks like Alsu Mizova from Russia with 2 athletes to go, and they're both foxes.
Yeah, Noemi was off a bit earlier in the heats and led for a long time. It looked like she might have won the qualification, but yeah, big sister Jess couldn't let her have her day, had to pith her into 1st place. So let's see if Noemi can get one back today. And she's in touch on the top.
And there's Mother running down.
Yeah, her mum there you can see on the left, former world champion herself.
Looking good so far.
Yeah, this is looking really nice and smooth. She's making this look pretty easy.
She did the commentary yesterday from the C1 men's semi-final, so she sees 30 athletes go down, so she knows what she wants to do.
Yeah, she lost a little bit of time there, but she kept it clean. No major mistakes. I think she's going to be in touch on this split as well, maybe just up. Yeah, just
Really
half a second down, really close. And that was very good actually on that curl move there. So if she can hold it together on these last few gates, then we're going to see at least one fox in the final. Very solid
safe.
As we said, a bit of a sting in the tail this move, but gone for the right blade, drops onto the wave, it's picked her up. Yeah, around there, no problems
really
at all.
Safe, really
I
good.
think we're going to see a new leader here. Oh, into second place.
Well, this is good for the sport, isn't it, to have two from the same family battling it out. But they're not. I don't see them as competition because they're so flattering towards each other.
Yeah, definitely. I don't think there's any rivalry there. You know, they're sisters, and Jess is a little bit older, so I think you would expect her to be a bit faster. And
there we go, Jess Fox, last to go. Half a second down.
We could list her titles, but
we only have a
might be
minute and
easier to, yeah, I was going to say it might be easier since Swansea hasn't won. Regular on the circuit. So 2 seconds down, touch on gate 1 showing there, so early penalty, but on pretty much the same pace as our current leader Mallory Franklin so far.
She always tells a story that don't worry if you have the points on the first gate. Dad did it and won a world championship, so no worries.
Yeah, she's got great genes for canoe slalom, with both parents former world champions. Yeah, it's no surprise that Jess and Noemi are both flying in the sport.
So Claire Jackie at the moment is in 10th place in 1:21, which is 5 seconds off the pace. Just needs to hold it together. Well, taking some time back, so as you can see, it's green, so she's up.
Yeah, I think Claire will be pretty nervous down there. Jess Fox, not the competitor you want, chasing you down for you to be in the chance of a final or not. Often we see her, she normally makes the final with a bit of room to spare, another gear to go into for the final. We'll see her attack a bit harder later, I think. If she keep this, a little bit of trouble there on gate 21, but
I think it's all about with the time. Is she going to go nice and gently, or is she pushing for it?
Yeah, it doesn't look like she's even really sprinting to the finish there. And a 1:14, so yeah, I did say between around 1:10 to 1:12 to win this race later on. Just there, a 1:12, and there you see happy for her sister to be in the final as well.
And top 3. So that was that's interesting. I think there's any real surprises there. It's all the big names.
Yeah, all the big names in there. That Alsum Minazova, she was early off, the girl from Russia. Was she first off actually, I think. Just kept things really under control and got herself in the final, so we'll see her first off later. That's a really good performance.
Well, how you see on the screen, you see the Jess took 2 penalties, but still easily, I would say very easily qualified. Franklin, Fox again, Herzog, Satilla, Badu, Fizarova, Woods, Wolfhart and Minazeva. We don't have to do much research on the CVs because they're all well known.
Definitely, yeah, all the big names. It's the final that we want to see. No some fallers there though. Nuria in 13th, Claire Jacquet in 11th as well, Rosalind in 20th. You know, there's a few upsets that we won't be seeing later. Nadine there as well in 28th. They'll be keen to make that right at the next few World Cup races that are upcoming.
So Adam, your job now is to go and make some contacts, probably have a bit of a relax, and hopefully we'll come and see you back for the final.
I need to go watch my teammates Joe and Bradley. Bradley will be starting last in this final. Really excited for him and Joe. So yeah, I hope that's an exciting race.
So thanks for stepping in now. We'll catch you a bit later.
All right, see you later.
Cheers, mate. Bye. Great super slow-motions of the action we've just been watching for the last half an hour or so. Now we have a lot of athletes coming up next. It's the K1 men semi-final. 40 athletes. However, at least double that set out the other day, and a couple of them who not quite made it through this time have to help us out through it. Tyler Smith, who had a great job on the commentary yesterday, we've invited him back, and a debut for Brady Crawford. Hello, gentlemen.
How you going? Yeah, thanks for having us.
It's always a pleasure. So, what have you learnt, and what are you looking forward to?
Yeah, well, it's going to be a really competitive semi-final. It always is in kayak. The course looks pretty tricky. There's a few moves where like going direct rather than a spin move might be quite fast but risky, so it'd be interesting to see what decisions the men make.
Tyler, what are your thoughts?
Yeah, up until this point, all the athletes have had the option to spin a couple of the gates, and for the kayak men, that's going to be a lot of extra time added to their final time. So they're going to have to pull off some more risky moves to be able to be competitive today.
Well, here you see they are possibly the fastest going to go first. Samuel Hernans, who played around in the C2 mix yesterday, is going to be the first off. You'll see them going in order of they qualified in either the first heats or the second heats. So it was really, really tight out there. But there's a lot of nations coming through, a lot of new names, in fact, that we're going to look forward to coming onto the scene. And if you look through at the last 10, it's packed with big names that we'd expect to perform at any level, to be fair. The conditions are quite cold out here. We noticed a few girls with the C1 and having trouble with the paddles. Is it too cold, or is it just it's manageable?
Yeah, 100%. I was struggling as well, to be honest, warming up out there before my run. Yeah, like my core was warming up, but it was hard to get your hands to warm up, and you lose a little bit of touch and a bit of numbness in the fingers. So yeah, for sure, the cold makes a difference.
Samuel Hernans, we've seen him take the course apart in Seo, designed by the same architect, so there's a lot of similarities. That's shallow and narrow, this is just shallow.
Yeah, well, here he comes. Gate 1, he's tackling gate 1 at the moment. Looked pretty nice, 3-1-2 move, direct.
I think we'll be seeing pretty much all the athletes going direct there, and only spinning in the case of Plan Bs.
Yeah, nice up 5, very quick on the back of the blade.
We actually noticed in the first runs, as long as you're within a second or so coming under the bridge near number 10, you still put yourself in a chance.
Yeah, there's not a lot of time to be lost or made in that first that top section, so yeah, you just can't make any major mistakes, I think, and you're in for a chance.
Yep, Sam opting for the spin in gate 13. Looked pretty fast, but I think the direct will be considerably faster.
Yeah, it's looking like a solid run so far. It'll be interesting to see what sort of time he lays down, and it gives the other guys to chase. Very tight through the down there, off the stopper.
With the kayaks, we're going to be looking for no more than 2 strokes really in any given upstream. So every stroke after that is going to be time that they don't need to be spending there.
He's really pulling hard at the end.
Yeah, pretty decent run from Sam.
Let's see, can we look at his facial expressions?
Yeah, he's not going to be so happy with a few of those upstreams being in there longer than he would have wanted. But judging off the C1 men's times yesterday, they were the fastest 95. So 94 is not too far off where you'd want to be. But we'll have to wait and see some more athletes to have a better idea of what the top 10 will look like.
Well, they go down every 2 minutes here. Nico Testen did well in the juniors from Slovenia, which means you've trained with some of the best athletes in the world, probably.
Yeah, for sure. He's a very smooth paddler. I think he's taken a few tips from Peter Kauser. I think it was his first senior team this year, so yeah, he's doing really well. He's looking smooth.
The Slovenian team getting younger and younger every year. Peter's kind of the only older athlete holding on to his spot. So I think in the next few years we'll see a lot more athletes around the 18, 19, 20-year-old range.
So you'll be becoming an old man. How old are you now?
I'm 19. Yep, Nico going for the direct.
Ooh, a little bit caught up on the tail.
Yeah, there's that risk we're talking about. It's very easy to screw that up.
Looks like he's picked up a touch on 14 there. So yeah, there's that risk like you talked about, Tyler, in that down direct move. Sorry.
Yeah, unfortunately, there's not enough time for him to really be able to make up that 5-second gap. Picking up another touch there.
Oh. He's gone for the really tight exit on red and unfortunately caught an edge and capsized.
My outsider's view is that if you're probably going down number 38 or something, 37, you really have to do something special to get through to 10.
Yeah, it all depends really who you are. Some of these younger guys that it's their first World Cup or one of their first World Cups are going to be really going for the risky lines and trying to make up time places where you might not be able to. But other athletes just didn't have a great qualifier like Samuel Hernandez, who could be in the top 10 any given day. So he'll just be looking to, we saw, he put down a very easy, fast run, no problem.
This is a dynamic start. Zhu from People's Republic of China.
Yeah, I'm not familiar with this athlete at all, but very good technically he looks. The Chinese team always bring very, very strong athletes to the World Cups, and pretty much new faces every year.
But they do that, to be fair, in most sports, because you have such a big pyramid, but big base. They can do that, can't they?
Yeah, we can see he was ranked 77, so yeah, he's really done well to make him to the semi-final.
When the Chinese decide to do something correctly, I know we're talking about canoeing today, but there is a World Cup football at the same time. Because they don't do anything at the moment, they want to do well in a few years' time. They've ordered 50,000 new academies.
Wow. Mass production of everything, eh?
Yeah. And in the canoe sprint, they decided to put all the girls under 21 years old in canoes as opposed to kayaks. Anyway, he's a bit down, but it just shows that decisions are made from the top, and it may work.
Yeah, he's sort of in touch. He's only a second and a half off, so if he really pins this bottom section, will be a few strokes low in the last up 20. Might cost him, I think.
I remember when I was learning to kayak, the legend David Ford told me every stroke in an upstream is another second you're losing. And when you're having 5-6 strokes in an upstream, you're losing lots and lots of time.
Hello, David, if you're listening, complete legend of the sport.
Not the result he's looking for, but quite possibly his World Cup debut, and he'll be looking to improve that result in the next few races.
Well, you can see the course. It's 260 meters long. I'm informed there's a 5-meter drop. It's about 12 cubic meters coming down a second. And one of the strongest guys on the scene is Matthias Polacek, one of the dynasty who have their own boat company. But he's a couple of medals in the World Championship, not for the USA, but he's certainly up there when it counts.
Yeah, Pelagic's a very fast paddler, and yeah, definitely has the potential to lay down a really quick run right now for the others to chase.
I expect to see some risky head ducks coming out of Mateusz. He's known for really sticking his neck out on the line in the upstreams.
And as we know, the poles are quite geographically close, so they'll know this course.
Yeah, that's right. They would have done plenty of training camps at Liptovsky.
Like you say, ducking around the. So the actual rules are you have to have the whole ahead and part of the boat at the same time, above the water.
Yes, and Mateusz is always pushing that whole head rule to the max.
Whereas still in touch, isn't he? Half a second, well, no, 0.95 you can see.
Yeah, he's one of those athletes that can make up a full second almost on any upstream. So still quite in touch for that first place lead.
And he'll have expectations to make a final.
Oh, for sure.
Right. Interesting. Anyway.
Lost a little bit of time, it looks like, on the bottom. That couple of strokes in that last upstream 20, and a little bit caught up in the last down as well on the stopper there.
And Matthias lets you know straight away how his run was. It doesn't. It's not a long conversation. How was your run? Rubbish. Or good. Anyway, here we go. Liptovsky, Igor Soviet from Ukraine.
Ukraine being another one of these countries that have very few athletes but very high quality. His teammate Victoria, who's competing in the K1 and C1, I believe, and quite fast at both.
Heartbeats at this sort of stage, 180, 190?
Yeah, they're definitely getting up there. Probably starting, around 140-ish and going up from there. You try and keep it as low as you can, though.
And do you guys wear watches to monitor your... Is that part of the game or not really?
Yeah, definitely. Definitely in training and some practice sort of races, some smaller races, you can sort of look at your heart rate and try and find ways to manage it.
Yeah, a bit low into that second upstream. That's going to be a few seconds. And you see when the back of the boat's getting caught up on the rocks, you're not able to move forward, and that's all time adding up.
Yeah, he's gone the spin option there and also taken a touch, so that can be costly.
Yeah, 2 penalties and the boat not moving very fast is going to add a lot of time. 8 seconds behind, that's not going to be able to be made up on the last bit of the course, unfortunately.
So I think I personally like the split screen, so you can actually see the overall context, and you can see close up. If you're out there and you have any views, if you want us to make it bigger or smaller, please let us know.
Yeah, the drone shot's interesting, definitely this year. It's a new addition, I think, is it, the drone?
It's all about permission. Everything comes down to budget and permission. They could do anything. They could have whatever you like. Clearly, there's the wires, so you can't fly too low, and you certainly don't want to fly over the public.
Yeah.
Isaac Alstom has been on the scene many years now. 27-year-old veteran.
Yeah, I believe he's stationed in Slovakia for most of his training, so he knows this course quite well.
Yeah, he can be a really quick paddler, and I think he has the potential to make a final for sure here. Coming from Sweden, where it's really cold in the winter, he's definitely probably very dedicated and has pushed through some pretty hard sessions, I imagine.
Where he's a little bit off the pace at the moment, 2 seconds off. And under the bridge, we see more like direction management as opposed to paddling.
Yeah, you're just holding your boat on line where exactly where you want to be. So once you get to gate 10, you can jump in and not hit the gate. Pretty decent director there. A little stuck on the back of the boat, but nothing to be upset about. There we see the shallowness of the course coming into play. It's quite easy to get the stern of your boat caught up on some rocks.
Well, he's holding it together, and I certainly saw that the water level went up, didn't it, from last Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday?
Yeah, it has. Yeah, the rain sort of changes every day with the rain. It's definitely up from what we were training on during the week, but differences are marginal, I think. There's a few little spots. But
it's gone back from brown to grey, I believe, the water.
Yeah.
Yeah, Isaac really pushing the head in the out upstream, but
it's going to be tight.
Yeah, lost quite a bit of time all over pretty much.
So we've had a basic look at the course now. Not to put you on the spot, guys, but what do you think the cutoff's going to be?
Sam's run looks pretty good. He didn't have many time errors at all. So we're probably going to be looking around Sam's time of a 94, 95 for the final. I don't think there's going to be a large gap between first and 10th.
Here comes Daniel Watkins, the Australian. Yeah, he's a young guy and he's really quick and he's really improving at a rapid rate. So I'm excited to see what he can do.
And doesn't he double up?
Yeah, and he doubles up. Canoe and kayak. Made the semis in both. So yeah, he's had a really good weekend.
Dan will have these incredibly fast runs down the course, and
well, you can see he's got the power. He's up.
Yeah, already up on the split.
And Brady, for you, are your nerves okay?
Yeah, a little bit nervous watching him, but not too bad.
He's from Tasmania. You're from Perth. So have you been on each other's radars a long time?
Yeah, I've known him almost since we started. 12, 13 years old. Come through the ranks together. A little bit caught up there. Oh no! Oh!
It's game over.
Yeah. he was looking really quick, just cutting the lines and caught up on the boils there, I think.
You saw, didn't you, that the mouth opens and it was like, I don't know what you say, what he says, but it was like, oh.
Yeah, you can see sort of the sigh.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, that's devastating. When you're having such a fast run to the top and you know you're going great, and then something like that happens, your run's over. So he's still being a good sport, paddling through the rest of the gates.
There's no real option there, I suppose. You can take away what from it, that he was massively faster in the first section. Or is he going to? Do you need to avoid him for the next hour or so, or will he just go and hit a wall and then be fine?
Yeah, he's pretty emotional straight after, but yeah, with it now, he'll be fine. Yeah, tough run.
Yeah, with only a week between World Cups, you don't have much time to get caught up in your results of the past week. Pretty much race finishes Sunday, and then on Monday you're back into training and getting ready for your next race.
Yeah, you sort of try and analyse, take what you can, and then, yeah, move on. It's history.
Well, by definition, 30 guys are going to be disappointed this morning. Top 10 go through to the final at 12:30. And we do have Marcello Bida, Italy.
Based out of Ivrea, where the U23 World Championships will be this summer. He's, I think this is one of his first World Cups. He was placed 4th on the senior team in Italy, so he's happy to be here. Sits quite far back in the boat, and you'll see the front of his boat is always on top of the water and free to move around.
I suppose with Milmenti as your technical director, and the Ivaldi clan coming forward, and Giovanni in your team, you certainly have high expectations. You should have.
Oh, for sure. They have a fantastic program in Italy.
See here whether he's managed to make up time on that touch.
Nice bounce through there, but still quite a bit behind off of Sam's time. You'll see his boat not moving there, and that's 2-3 seconds added to his time.
There's quite a risky line in this last up, where the kayaks are coming in and just putting the bow of the boat in really high and throwing their heads back, and it's sort of possible to do that up on one stroke, but yeah, it's high risk, but can be really fast.
So goes into 4th rank, probably won't be enough.
No, I don't think that'll be enough, unfortunately, for Beta, but
There's Pepe from Brazil. If you knew the camera there, he'd give us an amazing smile.
yeah, I think Pepe, yeah, he loves the camera, that's for sure.
Next to go, took the course apart here in 2005. Struggled to make the top few place in the French team. It's Mathieu Biazizou, who sometimes is just unbeatable.
Yeah, in 2015, I believe he won the World Cup here by 3 seconds. So he's, I'm sure, looking to repeat that performance. Early touch on gate 2, which is unfortunate, but there's plenty of course to make that time up.
And his style, he seems to sit very straight up.
Yeah, he has a very, very unique posture, and you can tell it's him paddling from quite far away.
Yeah, we can see he's made up a bit of time on that touch already. He's only 1.7 down, so like Tyler said, he has time to sort of push the lines and make that touch back.
Not the fastest we've seen through the double ups, but pretty decent. Kind of conservative in that direct. We'll see some athletes going straight through with the boat almost looking like it's not even having to turn, but very risky as well. So smart paddling from Mathieu.
Well, you can maybe hear some whistling down in the background. You've got the Fox clan following down and saying, "Come on."
Yeah, I'm sure Jess will be nervous.
Well, she's running a long round down with him.
Oh, nice last up. 1 stroke and out.
You see the top of your picture on the right, a grey person running down. Let's see how he goes forward.
Yeah, it's only close.
Going first. Well, it's going to be a difficult decision. He's fractionally behind 95 seconds.
Yeah, it'll be on the bubble, I think. He did well after getting that early touch to make back the time. So he'll have to wait and see. Nervous wait for Mathieu.
Now, one of the great adventurers of the world paddling scene. So Mike Dawson coming down next. In the same part of the world as you.
Not quite.
Part of the season. Early touches. Oof.
Oh, pushing the lines there on the first 3 gates.
Yeah, already a few seconds behind. Three full seconds. It's going to be tough for Mike. He has a lot of experience on the circuit. He's been racing many years, but hasn't quite had the success as some other athletes. He's very fast, but not super consistent in the semifinals and finals to this point. So I'm sure he's looking to improve that this coming season.
But has made his way down some amazing rivers in a couple of times in Pakistan and sometimes in Angola. He's had amazing adventures.
Yeah, for sure. Mike is one of those athletes that are really pushing the boundaries in whitewater kayaking just all over the world and doing a lot of amazing things. It's super cool to watch.
Time today is going to be difficult today.
Yeah, he just got caught up out of that double up, came out a bit tight, and he couldn't get to the stagger move, the down, was forced to spin, and sort of falling apart a bit for Mike today, unfortunately.
So what didn't go right apart from the obvious? Hit the pace.
The run didn't start very well for Mike. Whether it be nerves or what, he came into gate 2 and was quite far right of where all the other athletes have been and would want to be. So really the whole run was full of mistakes.
We're seeing a lot of the familiar faces. Lucien Delfort there. Why isn't it racing?
Yeah, Lucien decided to come over a little bit later. I think he wanted to stay in Australia a little bit longer. He has his girlfriend there now, and yeah, just thought he'd take an extra week to sort of get into the European time zone and acclimatise and yeah, just enjoy this weekend watching.
Okay, because we've seen him looking happy. I just wondered why he wasn't competing. K1m now from Sweden, so the second Swedish paddler down. Oof.
Yeah, Eric's a very strong paddler and quite technically strong, but not super fast. So his good results are when he's right where he needs to be and able to stay online. And so far, he's having a bit of trouble with that. With 10 athletes down and some of them being the fastest in the competition, those early times of 94 and 95 are looking quite good, I think.
Let's see.
On this course today, it's going to be quite rare for any athlete to be able to make the final with more than one touch. Really, even one touch is going to be tricky to make that top 10 with.
So far, well out of the money, unfortunately.
Yeah, bad luck for Eric today. He'll surely be looking forward to moving on to Poland next week.
A lot of the athletes have already gone, haven't they? A lot of the athletes who are not competing, they've moved across.
Yeah, a lot of people packed up and left, sort of trying to get a few extra sessions in before the next weekend. So not the worst idea. I think it's good to stay and sort of cheer on your fellow
Very much so.
team members. Yeah.
Yeah, good idea. Next up is Vid Masic from Slovenia. Well, again, probably new on the scene, on the senior scene.
Yeah, another young athlete from Slovenia. Quite fast and he's had some good success as a junior and is looking to improve that as a senior athlete.
We were talking yesterday about the fact that this is fairly, the water moves around a bit with Tatson. It moves around an awful lot.
Yeah, Tatson's crazy. You really got to be using the water, and if you're fighting it, then you're never fast on Tatson.
Well, there's some good support. You saw a picture a couple of minutes ago of Peter Kauser Senior, who's analysing the situation. He's looking good then.
Yeah, he's cut the lines on that down. A little bit stuck on the tail, but he's got, I think he was 2 seconds down in the first split, so he's got to try and make up some time in this bottom section.
Yes.
3.6 down, so yeah, I think getting a little caught up in maybe the ups and in the staggers, and you see there a little bit the boat stopping, so you got to use a lot of energy to sort of get the boat up and going.
Yeah, it's been quite tight on the poles, and sometimes that can make you faster, and sometimes it's just slowing you down and not letting you be able to accelerate through the gates. And we've seen with Vid, he's been having trouble with acceleration, and you see that with his time.
Well, it's certainly giving it his all. Won't be enough.
Yeah, no major time errors, but little things add up all the way down the course, and that'll set you back a bit.
Luka Bozic is cheering on his compatriots. Next go is going to be Swiss athlete. It's Dimitri Marx. See how he goes. First again, stepping up.
Yeah, quite a young guy, I think. 19, yeah. So this will be one of his, if not his first, World Cup. So he's done well to make the semi. Let's see what he can do. He'll be looking to push it as hard as he can.
Trying to take over the tag from the legendary Mike Kurt, who's now heavily involved in the Swiss administration and Olympics. For those who know Mike, he's now the president of the Swiss Universiade, and the Switzerland are going to host the Universiade in 2021, so a very busy chap there.
Yeah, quite a narrow grip there with Dimitri. He's very, very tall and has super long arms, and you'll see how close his hands are together. Yeah, it's really, I think it's a lot of preference. You'll see most of the athletes will have their hands a bit wider than Dimitri's, but if you like it and it works, then you don't need to change it.
It seems to be clean set. Well, it is clean so far. That was good.
Yeah, a little bit high on the spin move there, which requires you to have to wait for quite a lot of time. So yeah, 3.4 down. Just no major mistakes, but
nothing gets past you professional athletes. As amateurs, we watch and we think, oh, that's pretty. And you know exactly where they are.
Yeah, like Tyler said before, you can see they get a little bit. You get stuck on the poles, and sometimes the boat stops, and that can be to your detriment.
There we see going for the one stroke upstream and not really being able to pull it off. We'll see with the more experienced competitors, they'll come into that and be out in less than a second.
So, no, not happy.
Bad luck for Dimitri today, but I'm sure he's happy to be in the semi and looking forward to having another crack next weekend.
Tell me something about the poles. There's lots of talks about perfecting the technology. Do you know anything about it? Where you'd like to see it going? I'm talking about not the nation. I'm talking about the thing swinging.
Yeah, I don't know a lot about it, but I've heard about sort of the touches and trying to work out a way to differentiate water from human touch, obviously. So I don't know how exactly they plan on doing that, but yeah, it's definitely interesting.
Luboš Hilber, who's actually came fourth in the Czech trials, which was a massively competitive. Tunka and Viprin just came through automatically. Looked like it was going to be a shootout between Priskovic and Hradilek, but Hilbert sneaked in fourth position.
Yeah, unfortunately for Vavra, he's had a lot of injuries in the past few years and had trouble being able to train all season long. So it allows for some other athletes to sneak in, but many athletes in the Czech Republic are super fast and all able to compete on the highest level.
Very quick through that middle stagger move there. Be interested to see if he's made up any time on this split. One second down, so he's still in touch. He's got to try and really pin these last couple ups.
Well, the announcer certainly likes the Czechs. They split up in 91. Obviously have the same language in many contacts.
Very fast last up left there on the bottom. One stroke straight out. I think this would be pushing.
Be close, isn't it? Well, moves into second place.
Yeah, it's a good run by Luboš, especially with that 2-second penalty. Yeah, he'll be on the bubble, I think. On a nervous wait for him to come, I think. Yeah.
Well, if you look at the top names so far, they're all known as absolute flyers. with Hernans, Hilge, Biazizu and Polacek. You wouldn't, if they had actually come top fourth in the final, you wouldn't be surprised.
Yeah, with this kayak men's semifinal, there's well more than 10 athletes who are able to medal and win this race.
So Pavlaga.
Yeah, the Russian competitor. I believe he's made quite a few finals in his time, so
Yes.
it'd be interesting to see if he can, push this time of 94.
Yeah, early touch on gate 5, which will set him back a bit. But Pavel's one of the stronger athletes on the circuit. You'll see with his strokes, he was able to push the boat exactly where he wants. Going for the spin in gate 12, which we haven't really seen yet from any of the kayaks. It's a smart move, but not as fast as going straight through.
I think he's going to be in touch. Oh yeah, that touch has come on, unfortunately, but 2.4 down, so he's really got to push it on this bottom section.
Jumping in high, not quite getting that one stroke out.
So again, close, but probably not close enough.
Yeah, having to take that backstroke in the last gate pretty much stops all the speed you've been working to build, and that's not fast.
Well, 15 athletes gone, which means 25 to go, because it's 40 from this class. So in the others, there's 30 goes through. It could be such a strength in depth.
Yeah, it's brutal, the K1 men. 40 down to 10. Yeah, it's harsh, but
you have to remember, even you chaps sitting here today, you are the best in the world. So it's disappointing, but you're still the top of the pyramid.
yeah, that's hard. Yeah, it's true. It's hard to. I mean, everyone wants to do their best and make finals and semis, but right, it is an achievement just to be here as well.
Slatnik from Slovenia, so the third Slovenian you've seen down, and the top one is going a bit later.
Yeah, good to see all 4 Slovenians making the semifinal. I'm sure they're happy about. 1 second off on the top, but that's well in touch for the lead, really. We haven't seen anyone really nail these last few gates yet.
Quite a nice double up at a very high exit, which gives you good run into this stagger move, but can also cost you in time. So
Really getting hung up on that direct, and that's going to have lost whatever time he's made up so far.
just a little touch on the up 15.
Well, as you can see, is 4 seconds off the pace, which is brutal. It's not going to happen.
Yeah, with these kayak men, the smallest mistake will knock you out of the final really quick.
He's finishing the run strongly though. Quite a nice fast up left. Just missing the push off that wave for the last down, and copying another touch in the last gate, unfortunately.
So next again, another compatriot.
Tim Anderson from Australia.
Tell us about Tim.
Yeah, Tim's a very fast, pretty dynamic paddler. Loves his sweep ups and cutting the lines on the poles. I think he has the ability to go really quick. I'm really excited to see how he goes.
Arguably the best hair in the circuit. In my opinion.
I don't know about that. There's a few that are amazing cuts, but it's certainly interesting. There's a few mullets still hanging around.
He's rocking a good throw.
So he's quite a slight build, isn't he?
Yeah, he's a smaller guy, but I think that allows him to whip the boat quite fast and be quite dynamic. So he works in his favour. Nice double up there from Tim. Going direct, I believe. not bad.
Yeah, one of the better directs we've seen so far.
Coming a bit high and cleaned up the pole on up 15 there. Come on, Tim. See if you can whip this last up left. Just a little bit too tight.
Yeah, unfortunately for Tim, those penalties are going to knock him out.
Yeah, 4 seconds of penalties. Yeah, in the men's K1 semi-final was brutal. But as you can see, the raw time was not too bad, so it's a good positive for Tim to take away.
So, as the announcers, you can maybe hear him in the back, he's sharing our same like greenhouse, I suppose. We're about 30 meters up, 20 meters from the actual gate number 16. So we've got great house, and here we go. Kazuki Yazawa, with interesting history and great future, hopefully.
Yeah, I believe Kazuki's a monk. Is that correct?
That's right.
So that's something interesting. Something you don't see a lot in elite sports, I guess.
Poor chap's going to have to get instinct. He's going to have to sound instinct for a million questions in the next couple of years, building up to take here.
Oh yeah, there's a whole lot of excitement moving forward for the Japanese team with the medal from the last games from Takuya Haneda, and everyone's looking forward to having that home race.
Clearly, as he got one of the most amazing backstories, he's going to get a lot of attention. Anyway, let's see how he races. 2 seconds on 12, close on 13.
He's looking quite smooth until he picked up that touch, so it'll be interesting to see how his time's looking. Yeah, he's quite far down on the split. I think maybe a little bit conservative, maybe, on the run to try and sort of push for a K1m final. But he has quite a nice style. Just, yeah, maybe a little bit conservative, need to cut the lines, be quick on those ups.
Yeah, when you're going on that conservative pace, you can't afford to take any penalties. You saw he just picked up one, but he won't be happy with that. Second Polish athlete in the start gate, Rafał Polacek, brother of Mateusz.
4 brothers and a sister and a successful family business. Apparently the whole village just lives and breathes for paddling.
Wow.
Yeah, I believe that they live quite close to this course, and I think they've spent much more time than some other Polish athletes here. You'll notice Rafał has the high bib number 76. He's been gone for a few years, starting a family and working, but good start back this season, and very, very fast paddler.
It's quite incredible to go away from the sport for a couple of years and then come back and walk straight into your first semi-final.
But on a junior level, you did the same with the glandular fever, I believe.
Yeah, glandular fever is not a great sickness, and a lot of paddlers I know have actually suffered from it.
And that's what, a year out and a lot of frustration.
Yeah, for sure. It's actually, I think Warwick Draper has had some time off with it. I think Kate Eckhart missed a selection with glandular fever. It's sort of a reoccurring thing, but yeah, it's a brutal disease. And
Rafał had a fast first split, and then in that middle section he had to do a spin. I'm sure that wasn't planned, and lost a few seconds there. There's that one stroke up we've been looking for. Rafał being one of the stable athletes for doing upstreams that way.
Well, it's good. It's probably going to be top 10, but not enough.
Yeah, that middle section was really, really costly for him. A great run otherwise.
So half of the athletes gone.
Yeah, Hanans did really well to come down and post that blistering time. It's holding up very nicely. I'm sure he's happy with that.
Daki from Japan has a medal, as you can see.
Yeah, he's really had the last couple of years he's improved immensely. Picked up a medal, I believe, in Tartson, and was in a couple of finals, I think, last year. So he's definitely, he definitely has the potential to go into this final today.
Good bit off on the first split, almost close to 2 seconds. I think if you want to be competitive for the final, you're going to need to be a little closer than that. But still a very, very solid run to this point.
Oh. Is that a 2 or a 50?
He's gone around it the wrong way. Yeah. Good to see him fighting and going back to the gate.
So he's lost, what, 10 seconds as opposed to 50?
Yeah, exactly right.
But like we saw with Daniel Watkins, once you do that, it's game over.
Yeah, it's game over. You're going back for the gate, just out of sportsmanship, which is always good to see.
Cutting the lines there on the down on the stopper.
Is there any team philosophy? Do you ever get told by the senior athletes that when you mess up early on you have to keep it going, or is that just a personal preference?
Yeah, it's definitely something where it's drilled into us and we're taught to do from a young age. I think in Australia, like show good sportsmanship, finish off the run.
We're not talking about cricket.
No. But yeah, it just looks bad for the sport if someone's floating to the bottom over the line. So yeah, always finish.
There's the Polish team, happy with the result of Mateusz so far.
Yeah, as you can see from the replay there, just cutting out a little bit tight from the upper 11 and trying to just push the lines there.
Well-known figure, used to medaling. It's and he's going to be one of the fastest in extreme canoe. He's going to be in it later. It's clearly Hannes Egner.
Yeah, he's looking good. He's looking quite smooth.
Yeah, didn't catch his first split, but I would expect it's quite competitive. It's looking good so far.
Very good through that tricky stagger in the middle.
But he just looks like he's all apart from hitting the post.
That's a really unfortunate touch, hitting it with your back.
Yes. He's on the pace without the touch. It'll be interesting to see what he can do.
Oh.
It's falling apart a bit for Hannes here.
Yeah, two very, very unnecessary touches.
Well, he just has 2 gears, this chap. He has fast and fast, doesn't he? So he doesn't know how to back off.
Yeah, those 2 touches are going to knock him out for sure, which is really, really tough to see.
That's a shame.
Yeah, wow, fastest raw time of the day, so.
See him again in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
So another Polish athlete. How's it?
I believe this is his first senior selection.
There are quite a few who managed to step up this season, which is good to see.
Yeah, for sure, especially in a country like Poland where there's so many fast kayaks. It's quite difficult to break into that senior team.
And clearly we're going to be in Krakow next weekend.
Yeah, he's in touch in that first split. He's just, I think, picked up a small touch on the up left. 10. What can he do through this stagger move?
Yeah, just catching the back of his boat on that rock a little bit, and that adds about a second to your time at least. but a decent run so far. Without that touch, he'd be in touch for first, I believe. Yeah, 2 seconds off. So far, it looks like there's a lot of room in the top 10. Still a lot of athletes left to go, but that 94, 95.
Wow, very fast. Up 20.
Yeah, the gate mold's moving a little bit. Yeah, there's that touch.
Yeah.
So like in so many, if raw time is looking good, Dave.
Yeah.
Wow, very fast.
Welcome to the world of international racing.
Yeah, he's still in touch with that first time. 1.7 down with two touches is really impressive.
Yeah, they might be reviewing that at last upstream to see if he got his whole head in. Oh, looks good with that replay. But
do you think there's a chance that could have been water on that touch, Tyler?
yeah, I do. Hopefully they'll look into that. It's quite tough to be able to pick it out.
Okay, let's see how Darius Popiela, who's very fast, goes down.
The Polish are everywhere. They've done well.
32 years young. So far we've had 22, 23 athletes to go, and we have two poles. So far the Matthias and Rafael Polacek in 5th and 7th place, so nothing's guaranteed.
Yeah, really with more than 10 athletes left to go, we could see the whole top 10 switch up, but I think a couple of those times are quite decent.
Samuel Hernandez was the first to go and he's stayed in top place.
Yeah, I'm sure he should be starting to relax a little bit now, but
Darius is looking quite quick. Yeah, I think he could be pushing that time of Hernandez.
Yeah, a very traditional paddler. You'll see he's mostly in the middle of the gates, not doing anything crazy, just fast.
Yeah, he's clean. He's two tenths up. Can you hold it together?
Was really pulling every single part of strength out of Red.
Yeah, opting for the draw upstream, and takes a little bit longer than going for that one-stroke sweep, but very, very smart paddling from Darius.
I think we'll be seeing him in the final.
It's going to be certainly very close.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah, you'll see very few of these kayaks getting to the bottom of the course and being happy with their run. They're all looking for perfection, and there's always time to be made up.
Well, there's some of the big names. Olympic champion Joe Clark, who was 3rd. I think he's going to go off in about a few minutes. Juan Crespo, well, he's great on his home course, and these are similar, so let's see how he goes today.
I'm sure he'll be looking to better the time of his teammate Samuel.
Very nice up 5, flat boat, and yeah, very quick.
Not a super fast top, but you can make that up on the bottom for sure.
The middle section here seems to be making or breaking people's runs. This double up and then the stagger that follows is a key to a fast run, I think, getting it done well.
Little out of control there, sneaking in.
Oh, wow.
Looks like he got his head in there, but
Yeah.
we'll have to wait and see what the judges say about that.
Sure, the video judges will be having a look at that one.
Yeah.
Was quick though, a good save.
That penalty is going to be quite costly for him.
I know.
Oh, very fast last up, cutting the line.
Not today.
Yeah, we saw him. He lost a little bit of control in gates 12 and 13 and wasn't really able to regain his composure.
Yeah, it's funny, you see a mistake being made and then it's like a domino effect, they just start piling up.
So 15 athletes to go. So another 5 and we'll start having the qualifiers. End of June, so the beginning of summer, but it's still pretty nippy outside.
Yeah, the rain's held off today, which is nice. Makes warming up a little easier.
Tim Max, and not young, but it's good to see him in the World Cup.
Yeah, I think he's always sort of been on the cusp of the German team. It's such a competitive team. I think, yeah, he's a high-quality paddler, just hasn't had many opportunities.
All the German athletes very fit, very physical, and do a lot of long aerobic training in their winters, and you see it paying off in the flat water we have on the top section here. Oh, coming in really high to gate 10, and it's not fast. You're losing time when you have to wait for your head to go around the pole.
Oh.
It's amazing, isn't it? In 3 seconds, the whole run can come apart.
Yeah, the nature of the game, isn't it? It's brutal. The touches are piling up for Maxime here. It's going to be hard for him to, make up that time. Finishing really strong though, which is good to see.
Yeah, he's not going to be happy with that run at all.
No.
Yeah, not happy with that, I don't think. The facial expression there.
Next up is Michał Smolin from the US of A. Very exciting to see him racing pretty well in the qualifiers, and he'll be looking to make the final for sure.
So he's a few years older than you. Do you look up to him, or?
Yeah, for sure. Michał is actually one of my my early coaches, and I've learned a lot from him, and of course his unfortunately.
Yeah, he still has time to make that up. He can be very quick, so I'm sure he has the ability to make that time.
We can't he? On his day, he puts down amazing runs.
When the tail goes that all the time.
So there's a few big names. Hannes Egg now, when we have Smolin, that they're going to be really disappointed today.
Yeah, for sure. It's showing the course is showing to be pretty difficult, just by those results. So you've got to be on your A game today, I think.
Probably the youngest athlete in the semifinal here, Felix Auschwitz of Austria. Coming off of a Junior World Championships win last year and being one of the more competitive U23s this year. Very, very fast.
Yeah, 18 years old.
He's young but very, very powerful, and you'll see in these turns, super quick upstream.
Yeah, Felix has one of those styles that is really fast but doesn't look like he's being very radical, like it looks repeatable.
Really nice first split. In the middle of the gates, nothing crazy or risky yet. We'll see how he does in this middle section.
Yeah, nice up left.
I believe he made the final at the European Championships last week, or a few weeks ago. So already some great senior results.
Yeah, this run is looking very nice so far. Oh, very quick up 15. Wow, 2 seconds up on the split.
That's what we like, is we like a teenager saying, I'm not scared.
Yeah, he has a lot of composure for how young he is, and great athlete. Oh! Jumping in too soon above that upstream.
Yeah, it's all falling apart. It's going to still be fast, but it's, what, 3 or 4 seconds off?
Yeah, that's probably the difference between making the final and not.
He had 2 seconds to play with, but...
No.
Yeah.
Where he knows it.
He was on a flyer.
Yeah, one of the skills I think you learn with time is knowing when you have a fast run and being able to back off a little bit and and stop taking risks when you don't need it. Felix was way up and could have done a really, really slow last upstream and still been competitive. But that's a huge mistake. Yeah, that's really disappointing for him. A great run up to that point.
Say Pepe from Brazil.
Looks like a small tornado on gate 2.
Yeah, he'll be trying to push it now to make up that time, early touch. 1.6, so he's made up almost half a second already. Very fast top. Oh. Just getting stuck on that inside edge. Yeah.
Picking up a touch in gate 12.
That seems to be make or break for quite a few athletes.
Yeah. To put down a fast run, you're going to have to risk it a little bit there, and we see a lot of that risk not paying off, unfortunately.
Yeah, I think the water is really unstable there, and once the stern of the boat is put down, it's really hard to keep it in control.
Yeah, really losing his composure on those last couple of gates.
No, knows it well. We haven't seen many happy chappies yet, have we?
No,
Most of them left something out there.
Yeah, a lot of good guys struggling with this course, so shows the difficulty of it.
But as we saw with Felix, there's potential to be quite fast and pushing closer and closer to 90 seconds.
Well, one of the top paddlers for the last 10 years, it's Boris Nevi.
Yeah, Boris has been around a while now, but been at the top of the sport for a long time. Another paddler that's very smooth, has the potential there.
Never seems to overreact, but takes everything in his stride.
Exactly.
Yeah, another early touch on gate 2. It's not a difficult gate, but if you're not so patient, it's very easy to hit one of those gates early on. Very smooth so far.
I think with Boris we'll see, like, he has the wisdom over the years. Like, he'll hold his composure all the way to the bottom, even though he's picked up that early touch. He knows what he has to do.
And he's good for the big occasion as well.
Yeah, exactly. There you go. He's only half a second down with the touch. He's building.
Being very careful in the last few gates. He knows he's had a fast run so far and isn't looking to add any unnecessary risk.
Yeah, very nice last up left there. One sweep and out.
Well, this could be a good solid run, depends how it negates. Oh, that could be expensive.
No. Wow.
Well, they're going to have to see, but he's going to kick himself if that goes against him. Great run, and then suddenly 2 seconds on.
Yeah,
puts you down from, well, it would have put him from first place, and he's now in 5th.
Yeah, very unfortunate. So there's a 92 we saw there, raw time. So, yeah, there's potential for I don't know if there's potential for a sub 90.
Well, let's see who we got. We got Andre Tunker, Grigar could do it. Local course, Janau. Well, it's full of and let's talk about Kauser, Prindus, and Sebastian Schubert, who on his day is unbeatable. He's one of the, you can see by his stats, he's one of the most consistent yearly competitors.
Yeah, he's had some incredible World Cup Series finishes consistently in the finals, which is really tough to do with such a competitive sport.
Well, very much in touch.
Yeah, let's see how we can handle this middle section.
So it's almost like a couple of deep breaths when you're coming in to set up for 10.
Yeah, it's almost coming down that drop. You can almost take a second just to relax and get ready for the action.
Go on.
Oh.
Wow.
Just sneaking through there.
Yeah, great save by Sebastian there.
Getting hung up on the rocks there. When you have to throw your head out to the side like that, you're not able to keep pushing the boat forward. And you're gaining time. Still a decent split.
He's not going through the middle of anything, is he? He's doing well.
He's in touch. He's definitely fighting for it, I think, in this run, but
He's going to need a pretty near perfect finish here.
Well, he knows how to control a race, has the experience. Looking, oh, it looks like he's going to make it.
yeah, this is quick.
Well done.
Yeah, we could see there was a few little mistakes there from Sebastian, but he managed to hold it together all the way to the bottom, just hold his composure and back himself in. He really had the speed.
And staying clean, which is super important for him.
So pretty much, it's. Is he qualified yet? No. After he will be in the final. It's Vit Prinders.
Yes.
Last year he was just on an amazing level.
Yeah, for sure. He was had an insane season last year. As you can see, #1 bid there, ranked 1 in the world.
And then hits gate number 2 as well.
Yeah, that's happening quite frequently.
Yeah, so he's down 2 seconds. He's going to have to really negotiate this middle section well to make that time up.
I want to say many top paddlers in the Czech Republic who had a father who's a good paddler as well.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely a family sport over in the Czech Republic, a lot of Europe.
Really nice through 13-14.
Wow, made a second and a half back.
He's telling himself to go.
Yeah, he knows he's still down a little bit and he needs to paddle well.
Very nice last up. It's going to be close.
He needs to control this and he should book himself a place.
Yes, going to the lead, I
It's
think.
going to be a great final.
Wow. Very fast run. Bit well done.
92 seconds raw time and still time to improve on that.
Just kicked out his compatriot, so Tim Maxliner won't make it now. So we do have our first qualified athlete for the final. And then it's Yuri Priskovic, who is sensational on his day.
Yeah, Yuri has the ability to blow.
Was that a hit as well?
Bloated. I think that was clean. Very tight, very fast.
Another world champion.
Yeah, and you forget how young Yuri is, only 25, and he's achieved a lot already in the sport.
But apparently he's been on the bank all his life.
Yeah. Wow, 2.4 up.
Yeah, I'm really waiting to see this 90-second run. And so far Yuri's on pace to do that.
It's just good to watch, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, Yuri historically is one of the more risky paddlers with how he paddles, and so far he's very in control and not taking too much risk, and it's paying off.
For that 2 seconds up.
Yeah, he's lost a little bit of time, I would think, in the double upstreams, but he doesn't need to push it at this point. He's well in touch for making this final.
When we interview him after, we say that looks easy, and he always says, I'm exhausted over the last 50 meters.
Yeah, he certainly makes it look easy. I'm sure he's hurting though.
It's going to be the fastest time.
Wow, yeah. Wow.
And he could have gone a second to say quicker, couldn't he?
Floating over the line at a 92, yeah.
Yeah, that was a...
Vit Prinders and Andre Tunka.
And then with Vavra.
Sorry, Vit and Vavra, yeah, isn't it? Yeah,
Yeah.
Andre and Hilgert.
And here's young Quentin Bergy. Let's see how he can go.
Yeah, fantastic performance at the French selections this year, making his first senior team.
Well, look at that. It's fast.
Wow. Vit was very fast up there. Sorry, Yuri was very fast up there as well. What a flyer.
Any athlete that's able to make the French senior team is able to win any race.
Stéphane Boris Nevu from France also is in the 8th position, so this could be threatening. Well, still up there.
Yeah, 1 second. That's well and truly in touch, especially to make the final.
Is he given a couple of seconds back and hit the wall?
Yeah. Such a small mistake, just turning the boat upstream a little bit too much. And
there's 4 seconds to play. Matthews Polacek is in 10th at the moment, so he has to come through in 96. Might be enough. It's really going to be tough now. It's fallen apart really in the last 50 meters. No, he was thereabouts.
Yeah, I lost probably 7 or 8 seconds in those last few gates, which is unfortunate.
Say Sebastian Schubert's qualified as well. It's good. It's Priskovic, Prindis, and Schubert. It's going to be a flying. But the next, if you got Kauser, DeGennaro, Grieger, Helsing, Clark, Tunker, and Forbes Cryans to come, they could all make the final.
Yeah, sure.
And there's Slavkovsky.
But now, ladies and gentlemen, we will see another very famous and very good racer.
Well, I remember watching him in Po, and when he took a touch, but he was just wow, especially in the semi-final.
Incredible, yeah.
And he's on to a good start this year. Well,
yeah, reigning European world champion. He's feeling quite confident coming into this race, and eager to get some more results this year.
Wow, the second up on that top split. So smooth. His paddling is just incredibly smooth and uses the water so well.
He just understands the water, doesn't he?
Yeah.
You'll see it just looks effortless for Peter, but I assure you he's pulling quite hard.
Oh, coming a little bit. Saves it well there.
Yeah, you don't see Peter having to scramble too often, but having to pick up his stroke rate to fit in the gates there. Still a very nice run.
Well, very much in touch still.
Yeah, getting a little bit stuck up in that stopper there. But still in touch for the lead, I'm sure. Not a fast upstream there, but
well, he's going to have to really push it. It's not too much time spare.
Oh.
No.
Oh, no. Oh, wow.
No.
That's it.
I think his backstroke there was a little premature. I think he could have been able to sneak in, even with a touch. It's tough to make that decision. You want to avoid the touch, but with his run, he could have made it, I think.
No, well, you can understand he's disgusted with himself.
Yeah, you don't see that often from Peter Kauser. He's pretty consistent.
It's quite rare for the last skate to be so devastating for someone.
So what happened technically there?
Yeah, something he lost his stroke pressure for whatever reason.
And I think he tried to turn off the stopper a little bit early, just trying to cut the line when his time was quick enough that he didn't really need to.
Giovanni Di Gennaro said although the European finals didn't go that well, he's had a great winter. He's had Momenti pushing him and say he's built some extra muscles in the winter.
Another touch on gate 2.
Yeah, Momenti's an expert at building muscle, I hear, so I don't doubt it for a second.
Well, he said he's had to work really hard.
Yeah, really, really tight on gate 10 there with his head. Well, I'm sure that'll be reviewed.
Oh, very quick through there, though.
Samuel Hernandez is now qualified for the final. Not bad going from 30th.
Yeah, wow.
40th for Samuel.
40th, sorry, yes.
Very impressive.
No, it's not what he wants.
2 touches. coming undone a bit here for Giovanni.
Looks like Darius Popiela is going to go through.
Yeah, those 2 touches are proving to be the difference there, unfortunately for Giovanni.
So Brady, you have a small moustache. You have ambitions to go for Giovanni? Or?
Yeah, there's that 50-second penalty popping up for Giovanni on gate 10. So even without those other 2 touches, he was just a little too tight on those poles.
The poster boy, Jakob Gruger.
There's gate 2 moving again. Whether it be water or the boat, I'm not sure, but everyone really tight on that gate.
Potential under 90.
There it is.
Not with that.
Oh, touch on gate 4 is showing. I don't think he was at gate 4 when that touch popped up yet, so maybe that's an error.
Wow, he's quick, even with the touch. 0.8 down. You can hear the crowd, they're going
It's the biggest
crazy.
one we've seen so far today. This is good. We saw good noise for the C1 men yesterday, but this is really starting to make some noise.
Wow, opting for the spin there. Very conservative move.
That's because he's so fast that he can keep the wrist down.
Yeah, I wonder if he knows he has that touch. Perhaps that would have changed his plan.
Whoa, it's not good. It's not good at all.
Yeah, just catching an inside edge on the stopper and coming low into the upright.
Well, 10th place is 96.7.
He's going to have to do something pretty amazing, I think.
He's out of touch for the final for sure. That bounce move into the up 18, 17 was quite costly.
No.
Yeah. Disappointing, especially for the home crowd here. I feel bad for Grigar.
No, even if that hypothetically came off, he'd still be outside.
Another local coming up next, Martin Housen.
Yeah, Martin Housen sort of slipped under the radar of the superstars, but he's got some good performances.
Yeah, definitely, especially on his home course. He has the ability to be really quick.
Well, he's really going for it, isn't he?
Wow,
Can he keep that energy going level to the end?
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see when he gets to the middle if he's able to keep that energy.
But the crowd must be worth a couple of extra seconds.
Yeah.
Wow, he is flying on the top.
Yeah, making up a lot of time on that flat water sprint, but it's going to be quite tiring for sure.
Oh, very tight on the up left. Looking good.
And the rain's coming down quite significantly at the moment.
Yeah, it came out of nowhere. I spoke too soon, unfortunately.
Wow, he's fast. Martin's fast.
Very nice. Hopefully he'll take it easy on these last few gates and not end up like Hauser. Half a second down, no problem for making the final.
Whoa! Losing grip on his paddle there.
Yeah, seems like he's regained his composure though. 3 more gates. I think he's still in touch.
Just 2 more gates to go. As long as he doesn't do a cows, he's okay. Should be okay. Yeah, he should be okay. Well, that's good. That keeps the local crowd happy. And he's not too sad either.
Yeah, he's ecstatic. Awesome. Great for the home crowd. Have a local in the final.
So Priskovic, Vinder, Schubert, Halcyon, Popiela and Hilger have qualified with 3 athletes to go. Well, he really deserves to go through in the sense of there was no half pace there. He flew out of the blocks.
Yeah, definitely went for it. It's good to see.
Yeah, got really lucky in gate 18. Almost spiraled out of control there, letting go of his paddle.
Olympic champion Joe Clark.
Yeah, the Brits having an amazing start to the season. All 4 boats in the European Championship final. And 2 boats here in the top 10 qualifiers.
But they have everything in place, don't they? They have the finance, they have the facility, and they have the trainers.
Yeah, an incredible program.
Clearly the athletes.
Yeah, it's lucky to have so many fast athletes you can train with, and they all push each other to excellence.
They're all incredibly strong as well. I know they work very hard in the gym, all these British boys.
Going for the spin, smart move. He's fast. He can lose a little bit of time.
Yeah, the boat never really stopped moving there, which is a good sign that it's a quick move.
Oh, look at that. In
Right
touch.
on the split.
Lost high second there.
Yeah, lost a second or so there on that.
Well, 10th place is 3.6 seconds back. It's
yeah, he's right where he needs to be to jump into that final, no problem. Nice and easy into that last up.
Solid last up. Oh, tight through the last gate.
yeah, should do it. Needs to be less than 95.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
Doesn't even have the energy left to smile.
Yeah, I wouldn't expect you to be too happy with that. A couple errors. That entrance into gate 17 was a lot of time for him.
But he's just so competitive. To get yourself in the final, I think there's no one fluked their way through. And so it's Boris Nevu in 10th, Matthew Bierzazu in 9th, and the world champion just about to start off.
Yeah, I think Boris could be in trouble.
Andre Tunka. We couldn't really believe it in Pro last year.
Yeah, it was
Talked to
incredible.
him half an hour afterwards, and he was still on a high.
Yeah, another guy that sort of flew under the radar, like a very good paddler, but a great effort to claim the world champs last year.
Well, look at that. It's nearly a second up.
Wow.
Yeah, another fast top like Halchin.
The poles are not swinging, but the reign's quite hard.
Yeah, it's coming down heavy now.
You can hear the drums of the fantastic crowd here still. Even with all the rain, they're out here supporting their countrymen and the other athletes.
But yeah, but you athletes are quite tough, aren't you? A little bit of rain doesn't seem to get in your way.
No, I don't mind the rain, but the cold, don't like the cold. Don't mind a little bit of rain, get
Well,
wet.
half a second off the pace, so just needs to control the last 30 seconds.
Yeah, a little bit of trouble just like Joe in that 15, 16, 17 move. Still in touch for the top 10 though.
Yeah, he just needs to hold it together through his last 3 gates and run the final berth.
It's going to be really close there.
Oh,
no! Second one to do it.
Wow.
Yeah, same thing as Peter.
So two world championship medalists have come unstuck.
Yeah, you need to have a good bit of left angle to bounce off that stopper, and Peter and Andre were a little too straight and just went straight through it.
Matthew Bierzazu makes the final.
Yeah, both paddlers just trying to cut the line really when they didn't need to.
I think that's the crucial point. They didn't need to get through.
Yeah, and both of them certainly know better than to do that, so they'll be very unhappy with that.
Last to go, it's young Forbes Cryans. It's Bradley Forbes Cryans from Great Britain, who said he's very happy with his winter training. Takes nothing for granted, and really good opportunity today.
Yeah, well, it shows that first in qualifications was a great result for him. Let's hope he can push into this final.
Well, look at that. He's certainly in touch. Well, he's fastest so far.
So now he is very sorry because of 4 penalty seconds.
A very strong paddler. He's built massive rig on him.
Well, he's from Scotland. What do you expect?
Yeah.
Really tight into gate 11 there, but it's still in control. Not fast through that section, but he has plenty of time to play with.
Yeah, this next split will be interesting.
As we can see, he is going to with no penalties. So let's see on his second split time. And he is
Well, like you corrected, he's in touch but can't really do anything wrong.
Yeah, fortunately he didn't get hung up like Joe in that 15-16 move.
So it's Boris Nevu, world champion, or Bradley Forbes-Cryans.
Really fast.
Oh!
Wow, tight exit.
Yep,
Very
clean.
well done.
No! Needs to hold it together. This is going to be really close.
Oh, it's all in the sprint.
Oh, wow. No, I think he's in.
Is he? 10.
Oh, wow. Well done. Bradley.
10th place.
0.3 of a second there for Bradley jumping into 10th place. Wow.
So we have the lineup, and Boris Nevu just misses out. Wow, he missed out on Olympic selection by about the same amount. So 10 athletes are going to get 12:30 in about an hour's time. They don't have much time to really think about it. So Priskovic, Prindis, Schubert, Halshin, Clark, Hernans, Popiela, Hilger, Biazizu and Forbes-Cryans, the 10 athletes who are going to go forward. No one broke the 90-second mark. And the big surprises, I suppose, are Tunko and Kauser, who were there but didn't manage to negotiate the last downstream.
Yeah, lucky for Bradley, they missed that last gate.
Quite a spread though, 4 seconds. Well, 3.5 seconds between the first and 10.
Very unlucky for Boris with the 2 touches. He had a very quick time. But yeah, it's going to be a good final. Very, very competitive, very fast. It'll be interesting to see if they go faster. I think
There's certainly there's a bit of space there, isn't there?
I think so.
With the pressure, with the adrenaline, and they only have an hour to really regroup, maybe dry off a little bit, and back in the boat. Good. So I hope you've enjoyed this morning's transmissions. We're going to be coming up live TV in about half an hour's time. So we're going to give you the C1 women and then the K1 men. So it's the top 20 athletes of the day. Tyler Brady, thanks so much for coming in and giving us the voice of your experience this morning.
Absolute pleasure. Thank you very much for having us.
Yep, thanks, Matt.
We're off now. We're back in half an hour. Actually, no, I better wait. Have we got did we get the official confirmations? We probably did, didn't we?
I think we did, yeah.
So we'll catch you later.
Bye.